Live, we're live.
We're live. We are live. What up, Ranger? How are you?
Effing love that guy.
I love Ranger. Well, is that the one? Was that 4Drink Mike's favorite person?
Fucking A, it is. We got a bond.
Oh. Hello and good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are back every first and third Thursday of the month at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time is the Candlekeep Accords. We are set in the LDR universe. We're just taking place in Baldur's Gate. Well, now we are. We're back. We were in the Fae for a little bit. And we've got our own mess of problems here in this little corner of the world that our adventuring group, the Syd Several, are trying to figure out. And they have some newcomers. We made our way, I would say, through the prelude. We had about 12 episodes on Spotify, on anywhere you can get, what are those things called? Podcasts. Yeah. Anywhere you can get podcasts. We had 12 episodes to see how the Syd Several got here. Then we had some new players join, and we kind of had to restart a little bit. Plus, we decided, why don't we just film everything, because we have such good-looking players around the table.
Then we fired at him.
And we kind of had to go through another reintroduction because we realized not too many people probably listen to us online, and we wanted to introduce you to the names and characters and the location. We went through the Fae to find our goblin friend, and we started to uncover some larger issues there. If you remember, we ended, what is it, 3 weeks ago now? 2 weeks ago?
3 weeks.
Like forever.
In the Fae, we had a nice fight in a Death Hill, a knoll. Right? That's what I called it. Yeah.
Yep.
Where some old enemies that we faced were trying to turn our goblin friend from a green goblin into a purple goblin so that they could summon a soul and input it into that hollow husk of a purple goblin body. The name of that soul was Lord Avarice. Obviously, the party has no idea who that is, but they should probably figure that out eventually because they
Could
may
be important.
Could be important. Could be. Could be. Not to mention, there's just a whole other laundry list of problems. There's a thing like the Mage Plague going on, and we'll touch more on that tonight. Along with, you know, the masks of Mortu Sanakis and the collectors of Candlekeep, hot on the trails of our adventurers. So like I said, we made our way through the Fae, rescued our friend, went through Sigil, the City of Doors,
Really
and
quickly.
Very quickly, ushered out because you weren't supposed to be there.
Did not even get a fridge magnet.
Nope, could not be there.
You're right.
And you were ushered through the very first door back to Baldur's Gate. One after another, they were forced through, including our bird friend, Cacophony, who, if you watched on Tuesday, showed up somewhere else. And maybe we're going to see the other side of that tonight. So, thank you for joining. And we are going to begin. Let's not waste any more time. We open in Eugene's room of requirement with the party, minus Cacophony.
My goodness, that was a weird way to travel.
It was.
Very efficient, though.
What the hell are you guys doing here? How did you get in?
It was just a portal.
There
It was like,
no,
go ahead.
Wait, no, you go ahead, bro. Oh, you, bro.
It was this room of doors, and this little gnome pushed us through. He said this was the first door he could find that would bring us back to Baldur's Gate.
A room of doors? Like a long hallway?
That's right.
Tons of doors. Like, more doors than you've ever seen in your life. And this man had a ring of keys.
Like a
Keys
janitor.
for doors?
Like, I'm telling you, the amount of keys he had was like, it must have been magical because there's no way that man could have lifted that keys.
Cacophony!
That's right. Where is she?
Cacophony!
What's all this stuff doing here?
Cacophony, are you here? Where are you?
You mean
Oh,
the-
shoot, you're right, bro. Where's the bird lady?
Is that her stuff on the ground?
Look at all those
Ricka
heads.
is frantically... Ricka doesn't care about the conversation. He's frantically running around looking to see if she's somewhere in this room. He sees all of the stuff that's on the floor.
It's a mound. It's taller than you.
He starts digging through to see if she's inside of that. He
good idea.
sees nothing. Anyone, quick! Look! Doesn't matter. Where is she? Where is she?
Detect magic. Do I see anything?
You see some magical items in the pile.
No, like invisible person. Basically, see invisibility.
Hold up.
That's
Somebody just tried to take something. Just take something.
That is a good idea.
Like, here,
This
let's
is
all
serious.
just grab.
This is not a joke. This is serious. Find her. Look around.
What door did we just come through?
I found some feathers. And he takes like a pile of feathers
And in fact, he does. He finds a plume of Cacophony's feathers interwoven and strewn through some of the items.
Paz, you went right after her, right?
I could try and sniff them and try and see if I could track her. That's what I
Paz
could.
is completely baffled. Like, she was just gone. Like, she was there 1 minute, gone the next. But not even like you saw her disappear. It was just we came through and she wasn't there. Paz has no idea what's going on. He can't even speak right now.
Oh no, no, no. Darlin pulls out her crystal orb and is trying to look through the fog inside it, trying to desperately find her
Eugene,
location.
has anybody ever come through this door before?
No, I didn't even know there was a door there. This doesn't make
This is-
sense. I learned of this spell. They never mentioned a back door to the rooms.
Darian
Essentially,
discreetly
Darian-
starts.
You see anywhere?
Oh, I don't see her at all.
I didn't see her.
Darian's gonna start
I didn't see
wading
anything.
through the pile.
I was
Are
the
we-
last one through, man. I saw her go
Paz
through the same.
Turns and looks. Is there a door that I can open?
Nope.
So we're just.
It's almost like it's a wall. It's almost like you walked through
So
a
solid
wall.
wall.
I start to feel the wall. Try to go through the wall.
Okay,
Go
give
back
me,
in.
give me investigation.
Rika will drop to his knees and start to pray.
Oh boy. 7.
Darian's
You find where each layer of brick has been put together, and you can feel the grout, and it's a solid magical wall.
Darian selfishly is gonna turn on detect magic and pick up any of the magic items he can find.
Okay. All right. Give me
Cold-hearted bastard. We just missed one of the Syd Several.
give me a perception check.
She would do the same.
She probably would. Ooh, that's a good one. 19.
Okay. You see a key that's glowing. You also see an overly large coin.
He pockets both of them as discreetly as possible.
Give me a sleight of hand.
Ooh, not so bad. Not so good. 14.
Is anyone looking at what he's doing?
I'm looking at my crystal ball.
I'm not paying attention.
I
I'm
would have
looking at the
been
wall.
probably not looking. I wouldn't have been looking around. I would have just been kind of like. So I wouldn't
I'm
not
staring.
be looking, but I also wouldn't be looking at him. So should I roll?
Yeah.
I'd be staring at the pile because there's heads.
Okay. Yeah. Your perception.
Nice.
My perception.
Zim just
20.
gave everybody
Solid. Okay.
advantage.
You see
Yeah,
him
13.
kind of wade through,
Thanks, Zim.
kind of look around something. Thank you, Zim. Actually,
Thank you, Zim.
That gives them advantage. No, thank you, Zim. You see him kind of weaving through, looks
got it.
around like a corner,
Oh, I know.
and you see him grab something and subtly slip it into his pocket.
So I saw him slipping into his pocket.
Yep. You don't know what he slipped.
I don't know
but you
what he
see
did,
him-
but he did.
You see him kind of looking through, and he slipped something into his pocket.
Okay, I look around to see if anyone else saw him put stuff in his pocket.
As you look around,
Yes,
you
Jim.
see a large room. It looks like a factory with a massive table in it. And in this factory, think Santa's workshop, except instead of elves, we see goblins with hammers hammering away, and with scissors and screwdrivers and saws, and it looks like they
Tools.
are making things. And it looks like a big kind of conveyor belt. You know, one cuts something, hands it to the next, that one sews something, the next hammers something,
Got it.
and at the end of it is a finished product. And you see a bunch of bags being piled up. and masks being piled up on the end. You also see a room that says retirement room. It's a door that says retirement room over it. You see the door that Eugene is standing in is open, and you see behind him are what looks to be a ladder going up. And then around a corner, you can't see, but it looks like this room extends. It looks like it's a big L. You don't know what's on the other part of the L.
And where is Eugene standing in all of this right now?
Eugene is on where the corners meet at a door, kind of incredulously looking, how the heck did you get here? What are you doing? You shouldn't be here. I haven't seen your bird person.
Does he seem to us to be, or at least to me, to be agitated any more than he would normally be?
More perplexed.
Okay, so he's as baffled as we are. So I turn to Eugene and ask him, Eugene, what's behind this door, behind this wall?
Nothing.
Like,
It's wall.
but what's on the other side of it? Like, is
Oh,
it mountain? What do
no. We are
It's the end of the bridge.
we're in my room of requirement.
Ah.
Okay, so we're
It's a
in the,
magical room that we're actually underneath the bridge. And if you could get on the other side of that wall, you'd plummet
fall. Sweet.
100 feet into the water.
So this is a magic. Does he know that we know about room of requirement? Well,
He's
yeah,
the one that
he's
gave
what
you the
gave-
spell.
Yeah, so is there a possibility that our room of requirements might have a magical door?
I would assume so. They never told me that there's a magical back entrance.
Who's they?
The collectors that I know that taught me this spell.
And by collectors, you mean?
Candlekeep.
Have I ever heard of the collectors before?
Rule history.
Well, we have.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
the hair on my back, my armpit stands up a little.
19.
Yes, because you've heard of Candlekeep. In fact, you want to go to Candlekeep and study. You've heard of the collectors, but your stories of the collectors are of these noble individuals who are out there trying to curate and seek items of great importance and people of great importance, and they're known to be fair, balanced, and impartial people.
Yeah. Darian says, "Don't trust those collectors,
No.
What do you?
I don't trust anybody.
No, not it's,
especially collectors who are gonna kill you for something you
Whoa,
didn't
whoa,
even
whoa,
take."
What are you talking about? Collectors, they're researchers. They just collect. They're not killing people.
You're wrong. You're wrong in that they tried to kill us. And
What?
The same collectors that Eugene here knows.
Oh my God, are y'all intellectual property thieves?
I might be. Wait, no,
With
I'm
that,
not.
What are you talking about?
I am not.
What did you guys do?
You woke up like
Well,
You
month
pissed
ago.
off? Oh dear.
the full reference. The collectors I know aren't the ones trying to kill people.
How do you
which
know?
ones do you know?
Well,
What
I
are
learned
their
the spell
names?
from one called Tex Arcana.
Don't know him.
I learned it. It was in one of my travels, maybe a decade ago.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if the Threshers have any beef with Candlekeep?
You mean the little thieves guild that's trying to make a name for itself?
That's right.
No.
Candlekeep
That would be
accused.
suicide if they tried to do anything. They're not big enough.
Well, Candlekeep accuses them of stealing a book.
He closes the door behind him and steps in. Candlekeep Academy.
That's right.
Candlekeep Academy accuses the Threshers of successfully infiltrating their maximum security prison, essentially.
That's right. And Darian is going to start playing with the coinage and sand in his fingers.
What the hell? What book?
I don't.
Rick is still praying.
I have a better question.
go online. Man.
Y book.
Why would these super smart guys store any beef at the other person's, like, what beef do they, what, like,
I believe it's Kobe.
what cows? Like,
Does anyone else want to answer that, or are we just gonna move on?
Can we move
Let's
on?
move on.
Move on.
Okay, it's not real beef. That's a metaphor. It's a.
remember, I'm not good with,
He's a
got
nitwit.
real
right?
logical here.
Yeah, we were searching for the Book of Nitwit.
The Book of Nitwit. That's a powerful.
Did he write
book.
that one?
It wasn't there.
All 7 volumes?
Because he hasn't
He's
written
writing it.
yet.
He's writing it as
Wait,
we
what
speak.
book are y'all talking about?
I don't know. This is news to me. How did you get that?
That wasn't, well, I met the Threshers after they had escaped from Candlekeep. And this is all they got. This coin.
Can I see it?
You see it? He turns it around.
Can you come closer?
He shuffles closer.
He holds out a hand. May I hold it?
I'll let you hold one side and I'll hold the other.
Tiny coin.
Rika, with
You're still praying.
intensity and purpose, his eyes kind of like shoot open,
Mhm.
and in a, Rick is typically kind of jovial and kind and even. Rika has an underlying, like, he's pissed,
Okay.
but he's maintaining his composure. So he's just like super serious.
Give me a religion check.
I'm gonna use one of my advantages.
You have a furrowed brow while
And
praying.
I'm guiding myself.
You are praying, and blood is pouring out of your skull.
His giant forehead?
Into his brain cavity. He is going to have a seizure.
Unnatural 20.
Ooh.
Unnatural 20. Is
Oh,
that
I'm sorry. No, that's
intelligence-based?
23. It is intelligence based.
Ah, so close.
If I would have had
So close.
the exceptional wit,
Oh, look!
6.
29!
23.
So you
How did that get
are
there?
hearing some of the conversation while you're praying urgently and fervently, and it kind of breaks you out of your prayer a little bit, and you kind of focus more to get back into it. You're a little pissed that it seems like we're focusing on other things other than cacophony. And then, like a lightning bolt struck you. You have this brief vision in your prayer of a city on fire. And a tower. And think of it like snapshot black, snapshot black, shackles, snapshot to nothing. A group of people looking at an individual, snapshot, a mirror, snapshot, and then the back of a bird person in the reflection of the mirror. And in your voice you hear, "She's fine."
Am I comforted by that voice, or
I don't know. Roll perception?
Roll comfort.
That voice did
Roll
not
insight.
sound very comforting
Insight?
to me. That
Roll
was
insight.
like,
10?
You feel nothing about that. You're neither eased or uneased.
Diseased.
Diseased.
I'd be diseased by that.
Rika gathers himself, gathers his composure, and just kind of... Rika knows Eugene.
Oh, yeah.
So he kind of rocks back and stands back up. And with seriousness that is, again, none of you have really seen him this locked in. He just kind of looks at the both of you having this exchange, and
This is ridiculous.
Dalian, we can trust him. And he just turns and keeps he's not in the mood to play games.
Gotcha.
Because you said that, he'll just let go.
Roll
Yeah.
wisdom.
With my detect magic up, do I detect any
7.
magic off that coin?
Oh yeah. What?
7.
No, you do not give it up.
Okay. Okay. So he holds on to it.
Hey, Darren. I thought
Okay.
It seemed like you were just gonna let that go.
Rika has
You okay?
moved on. He's yep.
I'm not gonna let this go.
Darren, what
What
are
do you mean?
doing?
What?
This Cacophony's gone. You're playing games.
You know what? You can have it. And you see him pull out
What's it?
like a notebook and start jotting something in there. Can you just show me the front of that again?
Darlin peeked at it.
Okay.
Writes a perfect sketch of it, like perfect.
He folds it, he wraps like a binding around it so it curls up, and he puts it into his back pocket.
IL goes to the pile where he dig through, and he like digs through it even more, like really gets in there, like he's.
Okay. And you just start pushing aside all forms of knickknacks and clothing and
He's in
rocks
Tennessee.
and some gold pieces and some clearly fake gold pieces, but they're shiny. And there's just books and papers and a quill and just a bunch of nonsense is in here.
Is her book there anywhere? Rika will look for that.
Give me some sort of intelligence check to remember what it looks like.
Do I see him obviously searching?
I will use an advantage.
IL would also be looking for the plants that she had. So
Did you
wanted
beat a
to keep.
25?
I did.
Mark it down! That's another one towards exceptional
22,
wit.
25,
Or not
29,
exceptional wit.
29.
What are you going for?
Keen mind.
I know. I gotta do that.
Yeah.
Am
I
I
wanna work
benefiting
out
by
something
this
cool.
on a side-alone car?
No, well, what other,
Keener mind?
what feat are you working towards?
That's a good question. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
a very
wizards.
valid
Yeah, I don't
question.
have that. I don't have one of
So
those
if you
either.
remember, after level 4, there are no more free feats, which means we're going to work towards...
No ASI, right? It's only an ASI,
Correct.
not a feat.
Correct. We're going to
I
work
gotta
towards
look this
feats
up.
and skills and languages and whatever you want to. So by the end of this, you may wind up having... You might be a feat monkey if you really want to, and you
Oh, I've got
played the
14
game
levels.
that way.
Yeah, so-
Or you might speak every language that there is if you play the game that way. So I'm gonna try to make you work for those things, but it'll make sense in the story then why you pick these things up.
Speaking of that, something I'm working towards. He's actually going to take out the coin of ginseng.
Yep.
He's going to go over to Zeke.
Yep.
And he's going to essentially pray, but he's not actually praying to a deity. He's just willing him to wake up.
Okay. So make a disadvantaged religion check.
That's what happens when you don't pray to anything.
Oh.
4. The other one's a 20.
Doesn't help you.
Aw.
So I mean, you pray to nothing and no one, and it goes into the void and it dies.
Okay.
Dang.
The coin
So-
of ginseng does nothing for me.
So Zeke is breathing shallowly. Is that a word? Shallowly.
Sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shallowly.
Shallow breaths.
Yeah.
Shallow breaths. He's taking shallow breaths. He's awake, but his eyes are kind of rolled back, and he's almost quietly mumbling to himself.
Oh, okay.
He's just saying, no, no, no.
Darian's going to try to gently talk to him in Goblin and ease his worry and kind of just like comb his hair back and comfort him.
What do you say to him in Goblin?
He says, meow, 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 meow.
Yes.
Does that translate to twinkle, twinkle, little star?
I love it.
No,
I love it.
he's saying, don't worry, we're going to get you to your brothers soon.
And when you speak in Goblin, every single Goblin head, it's like the collective room stops, and they look at you. And then one of them gets up out of the chair. You hear the slide of a stool. And you hear the pitter-patter of little feet walk over to you. And he tugs on your shirt sleeve.
And Darian looks at him.
And you guys hear meow meow meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow. Meow.
Does Darian understand that?
Darian, who now speaks Goblin, understands everything that this little goblin says, and he explains, yeah, so I saw you guys come in the room, and the bird person you're looking for kind of exploded.
She's dead?
I don't know. I don't know how to describe this at all. I'm a goblin, and I hammer things. But I saw her come through, and this door appeared out of nowhere, and it was purple, and she walked through. And then it went clear, and then it turned purple again, and the little guy walked through, and it turned clear. And then that guy walked through, it was purple, and then it turned clear. And then it shimmered blue, and a plume of feathers came out, and all of that shit. And then it turned clear. And then it turned purple, and you walked through. And then it turned clear. And then it turned purple, and the metal man walked through. And then it turned clear. And then finally the lion man, and then it just disappeared. So it wasn't the same color.
That's really strange.
It wasn't the same color.
I see. Well, thank you for your help. I really hope she's okay. Do you know if you can help me with Zeke here? He's not doing well.
Why is he purple? Kind of purple.
He was being infected with souls
Oh,
from beyond the grave.
well, that's not good.
That's right. I don't know why they were doing it, but it seems to have something to do with this Lord Avarice. No, I don't know.
just hammer things.
Well, I don't know him either.
Actually, I'm due for my retirement party in about 2 days.
That's great.
I get to retire.
You look so young.
I feel old.
Do you?
I'm tired.
I understand the
The
feeling.
hammer gets heavier and heavier every day.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, back to work.
See you later.
And you guys just heard back and forth, meow, 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 back and forth.
So, I presume with the intelligence investigation check that I rolled that I recall what her book looks like, and that I don't see it anywhere.
Correct. I mean, you know exactly. I think you've even maybe leafed through it or felt it. You know what it feels like. You know what that book smells like when you open it up. You know what it looks like.
And I knew
It's not
I
there.
knew who it was
Yes.
about.
It's not there.
So Darian would relay the information that the goblin told him about the portal and how it was different when the feathers and junk came through.
Fascinating. Anyway, I can't believe y'all are just raffling through her stuff like she's not even here. And as I'm saying this, I'm picking up all the books specifically out of the pile. It's just so you can't take people's. Ooh, what's this chapter? That's
Darling.
interesting. You can't take people's things like they're not even here.
But you know, if Cacophony
oh my god!
chose
limited
to leave
edition.
us,
This is a great one.
she would want us to take her stuff.
Wait, hold on.
Sentry's already got all the gold pieces.
It's annotated. That's wonderful. What was it?
It's all right. I think you got the spirit of what we're talking about.
Yeah, we have to find her. She's my best friend.
Well, I would love to find her, but how are we going to even start looking? It was a portal. She could be anywhere in the 9 realms.
You said blue door, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Blue.
What's that mean to you?
That's just a good color, man.
Blue. It's
Royal
one of
orange,
7
royal
colors
blue.
on the rainbow, which
Blue
means
is a good
there's
color.
6
It's
other
the color of the
doors.
sky on a nice day.
I would talk to her tomorrow.
Selune?
No, Cacophony.
Really? How can you do that?
25 words.
Oh, I see.
Then you know the spell Sandin?
Yes.
How far does that? What's the range on that?
Throughout the planes, yeah. The small percent chance, yeah. 5%, i.e. natural 1, yeah, that doesn't go through. But as long as I can concentrate well, yeah, I'll be able to send her a message that she can respond to. Yeah, you know what I mean?
All right. I feel like that's the only way we can find out where she is.
Can you do that with only people you know?
That I'm familiar with, yeah.
Darn it.
Good question. I know where you're going with that.
While we're talking, I want to go over and you see Darlin take out her sparkly, glitter-covered notebook / wizard's spellbook and begin taking notes on Zeke's mental condition.
Okay. And he's... It's like he's stuck in a loop, basically.
That's about... Start timing it. 10 seconds, roughly, of dialogue repetition. That's a 30-second interval. That means physical motions intact. I'm going to peel open his eyelid and see if any reaction happens to...
His eyes are just shaking like he's in REM sleep.
Rika will come up behind her and cast Cure Wounds on Zeke at first level.
Okay. And what does Cure
Wounds is just going to give him hit points. Make sure that he's of sound body.
And you do remember IL shoving a health potion down his throat, and you're doing this. You can roll your hit points.
Sure. Maxed at 13.
Oh. He takes it, and he breathes a little deeper. And then he kind of goes back into that loop. So you would gather, all right, his body is okay. His mind is traumatized or something of that nature right now.
Okay.
Huh.
What do you think?
She
Do
pulls
you know?
out,
Do you know anything about medicine? Yeah. in
she
your study?
pulls out like a thick... You've seen this before, actually, when they were in the tent, when she was scribbling through what looked like just a sheaf of papers and crossing out sections, making notes and corrections. You can try and inspect it if you like. I'm not trying to hide it from you, but she's not even listening to you. She's just taking feverish notes under like a field study section.
Rika will observe briefly, seeing that you're more about the intellectual curiosity of what's going on. Rika will turn back to tending to Zeke, and knowing that oftentimes the body and the mind are able to heal when it's at a true rest, Rika will now cast the sleep spell over Zeke to try to put him in a true, like, deep sleep.
So the equivalent of turning it off and turning it back on again.
Yes.
Windows down.
It needs to be rebooted, yeah, you know what I mean? And this might help, yeah.
Yes. So you do that, and that deep breathing and kind of the shaking, and then no, stops, and you just hear snoring. And he's got shallow breathing, but it makes sense now. He's asleep.
Yeah. Always have that spell prepared, yeah. It's part of my devotion, yeah, to Salune. So it's not useful all the time, but yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Thanks, Rico. That was really helpful, I think.
So, okay. You came in through my back wall. Your bird friend is not here, but all of her stuff is. That's a lot of stuff. Where'd she keep it? Like on her?
She had the bag of Olden that you gave her, and she used that thing as
God
liberally as
intended.
possible.
It was the bag of hoarding. It wasn't a.
I don't even know if it's possible for them to fit that much stuff. Did she alter it?
In Eugene's mind, Rika is gonna speak as he kind of reads the situation with Eugene. Says, Eugene, yeah, cut the shit. These people are good. We need your help. Let's talk for you, please.
And you see him make eye contact with you when you're speaking in his head. And when you finish, it breaks. Are you sure? He
Yeah.
says out loud.
Yeah.
Follow me. And you guys...
He starts leaving, and we all don't know what's going on, but we just kind of follow.
I take the lucky
Oh.
plant and the.
You see him.
That's the one thing that I would probably take.
You
Just
see it.
one part of home. Be like,
Done.
Do we still have our pup?
Huh?
Do we still have the pup?
Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
Oh, that came
He's-
through. Okay.
yeah.
That came through as well. And as
Seabass.
you're
Seabass.
walking along this very large table, at the end of it you see a pile of bags of holding. He reaches over and throws you one on the house,
Thank you, Eugene.
and then he goes, "Meow, meow, meow," and you see one of the goblins stand up and attend hut, and he then Stumpy, Eugene says, give it to him. He'll put all that crap in there if you'd like, or you can leave it here.
Rika hands the bag over to Darian,
Okay.
so you have the bag of holding.
I don't think I want all that stuff. And like you said, she may have altered the bag of holdings she had. And I did notice that when she tried to get something out of the bag, she had to dive in to her waist. She didn't just like call it to her
You're just
hand.
supposed to think about what you want. And it
That's
shows up.
right. So something must have been different with her bag.
Okay.
I'll hold on to it for her as her first best friend. That is my duty in her absence.
You want all of that stuff?
You just met her
I can't.
like 3 days ago, bro.
Hey,
Darian,
that's what being
You
a
only get
friend's
one
all
bag of
about.
holding. I gotta
Take
sell
all the
these
stuff.
things.
bring it with us.
We gotta bring it. It's her born.
All right,
Darren,
Paz.
Darren, you want me to put it inside me? In the bag inside me?
That's
Go ahead.
that's a great idea.
Are we playing that?
You gotta wrap it before.
You can give it to the one goblin who he's
When
commanded to
he
go
opens
clean
it up, do we see and smell all of the goblin heads?
Oh,
Actually,
And is that out of the eye shot of all of the goblins around?
Okay. All right.
Oh my god, we gotta fight. All of a sudden, Paz reaches for his sword.
I
Like,
need a group perception.
oh my goodness.
goodness.
And
Why would
no.
you ask?
I want
that question?
advantage.
Oh, the goblins! They see it.
Oh wait! Oh darn it!
They're all green.
And
They
a
all turn white.
We didn't do this.
Preston, did you take the smell away?
Okay.
Good, yeah.
We're gonna look past the fact that you are a walking refrigerator that has 33 heads.
They attacked us. We didn't instigate the fight.
You see him turn around and meow, 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 meow. You hear him say, "They weren't our goblins. Don't worry about it. They didn't get to retire."
Yes, they did. Oh, they're retired.
they're retired.
Retired without pension.
And as you're walking down, you've got the bag. You can give it to one of the goblins who is tasked with funneling all of that into the bag and then giving it back to you.
And because Paz was so adamant about taking everything, he will.
Okay. And then as that's happening, you hear a knock on the door of the room requirement behind you. Oh. He checks.
That's not
Oh.
the door we came through.
Nope, there is no door. It's a
Okay.
wall. This is the door he came through.
Okay.
He opens the door and he goes, "Oh, is it that time again?" And you hear him going, "Meow!" And you hear, "Retirement party time." Meow, meow, meow. And he goes over to the retirement room, dubbed that. It looks like it was scribbled in crayon on a piece of paper, and he opens the door. And when you guys look in, there's a table with chairs and like a birthday cake or something, or a retirement
Oh, that's
cake on it.
lovely.
Oh yeah, it's lovely. Yeah,
Is
And
the
he-
writing spelled correctly on the cake?
it's
One letter's backwards.
Yeah, it does. It actually the cake kind of looks fake.
Candles are like sticking out of the side of it.
And you see him kind of usher in 10 goblins into this room.
Can Darian insight his lovely? Because it didn't seem.
Sure.
I think it's gonna be 12. I can't remember. Yeah, 12.
12.
Do I see the cake?
You see a cake.
I was like, oh my cake!
No, you don't.
Oh
No,
man,
no.
I want some cake.
You don't want to go in there. That's for the retirees.
But they're all so small. They're probably gonna have like one piece.
Wait,
You should let them eat first. Then
Remember?
All right, I'll wait.
manners.
get in, get in.
To the goblins.
Yep. And he closes the door, and this door is like a classroom door with like a little window, and he's like waves at them, and they
Does he
sit
lock it?
down, and he locks it. They sit down and they wave back, and then you start to see them slow down. They're waving, and the waving stops, and their hands begin to melt.
What?
And
Darian says, "What are you doing to them?
I'm not doing anything.
What is happening?
What do you mean? They're obviously
They
melting."
all begin to melt into a puddle of goblin goo on the ground. Some of them over the clearly fake cake that isn't real.
I don't feel so bad about my heads in my belly.
Darling gives a Southern Belle scream.
What is that?
I
Do
don't
any of the other goblins know about this?
He tells them to keep working in Goblin, and then you see him open a panel next to the door, hit a button, the floor opens up, everything falls down to the ground, it closes again.
And then a
And
new
it's-
table, chair
the table,
sets.
the chair, and the fake cake is in there. Well, that's done.
What was that?
Man,
You guys are friends with this serial killer?
good thing they don't know what you're saying. And remember when I told you to follow me? There's more to this story. Don't judge, Miss Judgy.
You melted people!
I didn't melt anyone. They melted themselves.
Can I get that recipe?
Follow me. And you
Would
walk
they
back.
have melted if they didn't go in that room?
Yes. This is just the most efficient way to clean them up.
What are you up to now with the lifespan?
About 9 days.
Now, Ricka, you know of this. Oh.
What?
So,
I tried helping him. Yeah. With my magic medicine. Yeah. Yeah. What do you call them?
They're clones.
Clones?
Clones. yeah.
Clones.
Again, this will make more sense if you follow me to my battling cave.
I'm right up on him.
Yeah, you may have heard of me. I'm the Great Battling, the vigilante for justice,
Have I
we
ever
all,
heard
we
of
all
this?
look at each other.
the little bat of fury.
Ah, yeah.
Batshit-
There we
Batshit
go.
Crazy.
You two probably you would have.
I'm
But-
just
When
pretending.
I was in Haven,
you-
did I hear that? Yeah.
No,
Interesting.
I am the knight. Nothing?
No.
No one?
You need a better publicist.
Oh, well, the people in Neverwinter know who I am.
I've
Like
never
all
been
the
to
people.
Neverwinter.
I don't know what the bat
Paz is
thing
getting
is.
You never had Paz?
madder. He's already failed keeping Cacophony alive, and he's just
She's not dead.
pissed off at everybody. He just saw 2 goblins,
10 goblins
Well,
melt
10.
into
Not
a
10.
green puddle of goo.
and
I'll
he's
get
just
you
like
my puddle.
he feels like he's failing everywhere, and he's on edge, and he's not. He doesn't trust anybody. So
Hey, big man, relax. This will all make sense when you come to my cave. And you walk.
they just went into a room you told them to go into.
Yeah, but they were going to turn into that anyway. You
I
are.
don't know that. I
No.
know Ricka knows that, but I'm not even
Do you
trusting
trust
him right
Ricka?
now. At this point, no.
Well, I guess you're going to have a hard time in this world if you can't trust anyone. I don't care if you follow me or not, but we're going to go this way, okay?
He's got his hand axe out.
You can do that.
Paz, I'd feel a
I
lot
have nothing
safer
to
if
hide.
you went with
You're
us.
in my secret room.
I'm coming with you, but I'm just that Paz is not. Paz is
On
pissed
tilt.
off at the
He's
world.
on tilt.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm on edge, and
So
and
you're following your hand axe is actually out of its sheath. and
yeah,
it's in your hand.
I'm walking. Matter of fact, with both.
Good. I like it. And you follow him now to the L portion of the rumor requirement, and you see above it that says Battling Cave. And
Is it written in crayon too?
It's written in crayon.
Are there little bats drawn?
Yep. Little rudimentary bats are drawn on all of it, and he's like, spooky.
There's like a fog machine in the corner.
All right. I'll go first, okay? You come with me. And he goes over to a door there, and he lifts up the bust of him, just like the old Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
There's a bust of his head. He lifts it up, hits a button, the door opens, slides open, and you see into this room that is just full of these life-sized pictures on the wall, and it looks like annotated notes everywhere, and you see in the center of this room like a back-to-tank.
A what?
Star Wars reference.
Star Wars.
A big
There's-
tank of
Ed just
liquid.
get-
Tank
the
of-
edge is just
We're
going.
all over
Tank
the
of
place
poop.
It's
here.
a healing tank.
There's a giant tank of water with a creature floating inside of it with wires and stuff coming out of its mouth.
Ventilators, right? Like,
Yeah. And he
It's like-
goes, "This is my cave. This is where I do my research.
Research on what?
The comings and goings and of what's going on in Baldur's Gate and really the west coast of the Sword Coast."
Your mood just went from to research on what?
It's true, it was pretty abrupt.
Yeah, like
Oh,
what? the-
scientific curiosity compels
Oh, this
us
isn't
forward.
science. I've been tracking vigilantes of all types for about 25 years. I'm in the 26th, he opens up his book, 26th year of the battling experiment, and he wraps it back up and throws it in his back pocket.
Is this thing you have in here alive?
Yes, he's my friend,
Then why are you keeping him?
because if I didn't, he'd be dead.
I see.
It's the best we could do to stabilize him.
This is
I
my
see.
friend Toggy. He's a goblin. If you notice what he looks like, they all look like him. He is
Almost exactly.
He is the genesis point of every goblin that I create.
So
I'm
when
trying to
you
find
were
a
when
cure.
Rika was saying that's the longest you've been able to get their copies of this one, but they're not real copies, so they can't last.
Correct.
They're not really alive.
I'm trying to get... Follow me in. I don't want them to hear. Do you guys enter?
Oh yeah, I'm leading the pack now.
Okay. You push your way through. Mincemeat, for the first time, acts like an actual bird because he's super interested as well.
Yep.
And Stumpy is there looking at you. Will you enter with me?
Yeah, I'm gonna enter. I'll take after everybody else goes in.
They're
and,
all
and I look at Rika like, you got some explaining to do, bro. Like,
Rika looks at him and nods, a knowing nod, and walks in ahead of him.
We go in. He hits a button. The door closes. This is Toggy. You guys are centered around this back-to-tank looking thing. He was my crime-fighting friend. We picked him up in a rich part of the city. I forget what city we were in now. It was so long ago. He became our house goblin, and I started to train him how to do some things. You know, in a former life, I was a rogue, if you will. I lost my family at a young age. I was on my own. Had a wife and kids. We were in the circus. I lost them, and for the longest time, it was just me and Toggy. And we decided there's too many evil things out there. We need to do something about it. So I invented this suit. And he points to this really little Batman suit. It allows me to fly. That's why I'm battling. And you see right next to it, we were battling in Goblin. And you see a Robin-esque looking suit.
what about the goblin? You see a robin?
Yeah, that's the.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But then Toggy got sick. I don't know with what. It might be the mage plague. And he started deteriorating very quickly. And I came to Rika maybe 5 years ago. Toggy's been like this.
It's some sort of magical affliction that the normal magics of healing are unable to affect. Yeah, you know what I mean?
We
Hmm.
were
What kind of deterioration do you mean?
health. His
Like physical?
yeah, no, mental. His mind was going, and then that, because his mind was going, it started to have the internal functions of his body just go haywire. He'd forget to breathe sometimes. His heart would beat erratically or sometimes not at all, and I can't tell you how many times I had to jumpstart his heart. It was terrible, and I couldn't see my best friend deteriorating like that.
Did he cast magic at all?
No, he's not a magic caster. He was a rogue like me. He's a rogue like me.
Darling, are you familiar with a simulacrum spell? Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Have you heard? High level, very high level magic. Yeah.
I think I would.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jean here developed.
Oh, you can call me Stumpy. Eugene's the name my mother gave me. I hate it.
Stubby Dvelta. Take, and he looks at Paz directly. On the Simulacrum spell, none of those goblins out there are actually alive. They're all magical constructs. However, if you can perfect what you're working on, then we think that
You could
Yeah.
make one of them permanent and transfer his consciousness into that body so that the deteriorating effect is no longer relevant?
that's one possibility. That's
Isn't that
theories that he's working on.
isn't that almost exactly what was happening with Zeke?
Transferring consciousness between bodies.
That's right.
Oh, I don't,
Except they didn't want to transfer his unconsciousness. They wanted to snuff it out and make a little hollow opening for something else. to
For
walk
Lord
through.
Avarice, that the sarcophagus that he was laying on.
So they must have figured out a way to establish a conduit between the two of them.
I suppose.
Hold up. What if we transfer his to Zeke's? Zeke's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of, he's kind of beyond help right
Zeke,
now.
Zeke will be okay. He'll be okay. You must have faith.
Just offered to snuff out this man.
Yeah, I don't want to lose Zeke.
You're who's carrying Zeke, by the way? Or did you leave him sleeping on the ground by the pile of
I
goods?
would be because
carrying him?
yeah.
So you're carrying Zeke, who's he is ugly sleeping right now, like hard snoring, drool pouring out of his mouth.
Mincemeat is actually fluttering above his open mouth with every like snore. He's like rising like an upwind and then coming back down.
I think we should at least consider it. As I stare at him.
There's no consideration.
This is a roller coaster for
Yeah.
Mincemeat.
Darian with Zeke would walk away from Sentry.
So that's one of the options. I'm either trying to make one permanent so I can figure out what happened to bring back my friend, or if heaven forbid I can't, I can make a perfect clone and I can let his suffering cease, and I'll still have a version of my friend with me. But I can't get them to last longer than 9 days now. So that's why we have the retirement room. I send them out, they do my listening, this is how I gather information. They don't look like goblins when they go out, they look like halflings or gnomes or other small creatures, and have you seen my push carts in the city? The falafel stands?
Delicious.
Oh. Listen, that's one thing goblins know how to do, is falafels.
I prefer shawarma.
And I start to, I'm like, can we get out of here? Like,
No need. He opens the door. You want one or two?
two. Can I have three? Three? Make it three. Gotta make it three.
Extra tahini.
Of course. Is there any other way?
And you hear in the background, meow, meow, and the door closes. You got three coming right up. That
And-
guy's got 2 days left to live. You should get his, get his. His are good. He doesn't know it yet. It's a shame, actually. You kind of have to joke, otherwise it's pretty sad.
Do they come into being with their own memories formed, or are they blank slates?
They are kind of Metal Man. They're kind of like you.
Mm.
They do what they're told, and they quickly gather their own false memories as they proceed through their days over 8 days.
Then they're not like him.
I've been here longer than 8 days.
How do you know?
Don't they ever have
We've
like,
been with
Maybe.
Eight days.
I'm trying to see how many days you think you've been alive, buddy.
I'm more curious about this man's insurance policy.
Oh, I am loaded.
His turnaround time here is.
I am the beneficiary of all of their life. How do you think I fund everything?
The first thing they do when they wake up, he's like, "Hi, welcome. Could you sign this for me?" It's just signing over beneficiary
No cost to you.
rights.
Insurable interest is there. So that's my personal goal, is I want my friend back one way or the other. But as you can see, and he takes you over to the Charlie Day board of like red wires connecting things. This is what I've been tracking for 25 years. And I know it goes back further than that, but this is when I began. And the reason I'm here in Baldur's Gate, and I have been for about 8 months, and I set up my front as a merchant, is because there's some unusual happenings going on. Here in particular. And I followed it down from Neverwinter through Salt Marsh, through Waterdeep, through Nightstone, to here. There's a shadow that's setting on this great city, metaphorically speaking. Maybe. There's some issues. The mage plague that's going on seems to have no connection to the... Have you heard about the storm that's happening out in Anarok?
No.
Yeah, there's some magical storm, from what I hear. I don't know if it means anything. But it has no connection to that whatsoever. Its genesis point is somewhere in this city, and that's about all I can gather.
The Mage Plague.
It is endemic to this location. I don't know if it's spreading or if it's just centered over where we're at in a certain radius. But it's got this city up in arms. Neighbors are turning on neighbors. People are... The secret police, the Flaming Fist, are kicking in doors and arresting anyone who might be a magic user. It's very uncertain times. People are scared. And when people are scared, they allow travesties to occur. Personal rights to be infringed upon. It's terrible.
Yeah, you mean the Flaming Fist, the...
Mercenary Guild?
Not the...
Not the town guards.
Not the town guard, but the
mercenary
mercs.
guild.
Yeah.
Who, generally speaking, know their place, and their place is not in this city. And yet, they're often traveling in to make these secret arrests. That is disconcerting to me. I don't like that at all.
What do the
Where are they
Dukes
taking
say?
these people?
Do the
these
Dukes have
raids?
any say in this? I mean,
From what I can gather, the Dukes are trying to keep the people calm in their districts. And enough of the people are asking for the magic users to be sequestered. They're voted in. They want future votes. They're going to do what their constituents ask them to do.
are you concerned for yourself?
No, I have my masks. You point. Remember the other pile? There were the bags and the masks. I have my magical masks. It filters out any of that.
No, I'm saying, are you afraid they're going to kick into your door?
Oh, they can try. That's why I have this room.
You said they're making secret arrests of people. Do you know where they're taking them?
There's 2 locations.
You've been through one of them.
The blockade that you came through to get here, and there's one outside of the Black Dragon District.
That's north of the city, yeah.
Yeah, it's to the northwest of Baldur's Gate, just outside.
That's where Dove is being kept. The one to the south.
So, well, as I said before when you came through, if you use magic, be mindful of where you use it.
Johan is condoning, and I would expect that for Marcus and Cecilia, yeah, the politicians. Wayne and Johan, even?
Wayne, I have a good relationship with him. I will come to you, Lion Man. Wayne feels like he has his hands tied. The Black Dragon District is growing so much that politically speaking, we might have a 5th district for the first time in Baldur's Gate's history. He doesn't want to lose power. He's got to protect his interests. He feels like his hands are tied. You understand that. Politics, baby.
Yeah.
Tumultuous
Johan,
time.
on the other hand, Johan has been a little off. I don't know how to describe it, and what's more concerning there is he hopped on one of his treasure fleets with his best crew, minus Timmy, about 4 weeks ago.
Didn't take Timmy?
He didn't take Tim. Now, listen, he usually doesn't if it's supposed to be a short trip, because he needs Timmy to run his affairs back at camp, so to speak. But if it were going to be a 4-week trip, he would bring his right-hand man. Johan hasn't been seen for about 4 weeks with his best crew, but Timmy is left behind. There's
That's
no way
strange.
that would happen.
That corresponds almost exactly with when we brought Dove back, yeah. And the 3 that were killed, yeah.
That's right.
We talked to Timmy
And Sylvain.
Wait.
and Sylvanek, and then he disappeared after
Who's
that.
that guy? Sounds like a jerk.
Wait, three other. What's going on there? I've heard about disappearances. Did you run across why that's happening?
Darren,
Well, Johann tasked us with finding a few of his crew, and we tracked them down to the sewers, and we found that there was a ritual going on by these people in different masks. And Dove, who you remember,
I do.
she's out in the concentration camp, and she was
Bottom.
Higginbottom, yes.
I don't trust her.
We don't either.
Be careful. She's dangerous. Carry on.
But Dove was part of the crew, of Johann's crew, that got abducted by these masks.
She's the girl who lived.
She's the girl who lived out of Doug's Tavern.
She has just a scar the shape of a dove on her forehead.
She does now.
That's great.
Probably looks more like a brand.
I get that. Oh, no.
But these rites were being done in the sewers, and
Oh, wait. Do you mean like the Elf Song Tavern underground sewers, or do you mean the city of old?
the city of old.
it was beyond Haven.
That's just a rumor.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen Haven?
Do you really trust him with this? All right.
Abrupt. Sorry, let me change the mood music. And at that time when he's changing the mood music, you hear falafel. A plate's handed to you.
Puts the axes down.
He hands you 3 falafels.
Immediately, Paz is no longer hangry.
Oh,
I trust you all now.
Hey, Paz, you saw that cake a minute ago.
I'm ready to go. Gotta die sometime.
So you do notice when you bite into one of the falafel bundles that it's bright green, like goblin-esque green.
Delicious.
Cilantro.
Delicious. I crack another tooth. The third one.
Oh, so there you are. You're eating you're happy now. You're eating your falafel, and all right, back to it.
Commercial break.
That's a rumor. You got to be kidding me. There's no way that's real. How did they find the old city sewer? I've been looking for months.
Paz, you want to show him your shield?
He spins his shield around, and he shows him the map on the back of it.
That's... Oh my goodness. Where did you find this?
It's from the Heir of Baldor, isn't it?
Does Cicera ring a bell?
Yeah, Lady Cicera. She's the lady of old. She's the protector of the city or whatever.
We're dating.
That's awesome. She's what are you, like Luke and she's Leia or something? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Except I have the earmuffs
You
are
have
down
the
here.
yours are down. So you're the Leia in the scenario.
He coils his armpit hair.
Oh, you should get that checked.
It is, look, yeah.
Okay.
The paper he'd.
Wait, time out.
Our house that we
1,
obtained
2, 3 Dock Street.
from Johann, yeah, the original, apparently, of Baldur's Gate, where the Baldurs originally stayed.
That's true.
There's a old crypt that was boarded over that we found, and it led down to the sewers and beyond, to the under sewers. In the under sewers, yeah. You know what I mean?
So
That
you
is
have
where
direct
Haven-
access?
Yes.
Good for you. You need to protect that. Those people are in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that found out that the secret police were after them to take them to the concentration camp, so to speak, and they got out.
Hence the name, yeah.
Haven. I thought this was... I thought it was a wives' tale.
Yeah, there's some. And Ricker kind of gives a side glance towards Darlin, but doesn't say anything. Some diviners down there, who it seems saw things coming. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Interesting. You need to protect your house with your lives, because if that falls, all the people of Haven do.
Hmm.
Your secret is safe. Your secret does not leave this room. He turns off a recording device.
What's that?
Nothing.
Don't worry, Mrs. Potts is guarding well. Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good. I believe it's Patricia Potts / Sleaze.
Patty.
Okay. All right. Wow. Haven's real. That's news to me. You see him pull out his book and make some notations. Looks at you. Erases it. I'll keep that up here. Okay. So yeah, Mage Plague, endemic, centered on this city. I don't know where it's coming from or why it's happening. We got to figure that out. Otherwise, a lot of people are going to die. Secondly, I guess Haven's real. But we have a problem politically with one of the dukes just kind of missing and no one knows where he is. And Timmy is worried. He stopped by the other day for some brass knuckles. And
He's adding brass.
I know. That's how worried
No
he is.
taint will be safe.
Or long intestine. It just goes right up there.
Goodness gracious.
An
That
extended
middle
king
knuckle
cluster.
is really long.
It's
He
actually
had
just
me-
one
he-
brass knuckle.
Yeah.
It's not a full.
He had me make it special just for this one.
Like, I
brass
think it's like
knuckle.
a ring, but it's just
It's like a ring
code.
pop.
You see this
It's like a ring
for
pop
the
with
first
a
so the
code.
first time Ricka's seriousness begins to break, and this look of intrigue kind of comes over his face.
Do you want one?
Could you?
Oh, easy.
Did they make a girth motion?
No. Yeah. You'll probably have one by the time we're done here.
There's a little smile that crests his face for the first time in the last hour.
That one's new. He's got 8 days left.
He's got his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah.
He's like a fruit fly.
Basically,
Yeah.
Timmy,
Stumpy.
Stumpy.
Yeah.
How many of those can you make in a day?
About 10.
We could potentially get like 90.
Yeah.
And secondly, since you didn't know about Haven, what do you know about the Fae?
Like, what about it? I mean, I know it exists. It's another plane of
Like
existence.
it's here.
What? No.
I'm
Well-
not a magic user, but magical things are starting to happen to me. Like I can blow the doors off of of this
off
place.
Of doors.
I can blow the hinges off of doors with.
with the armpits.
I don't even have to use them. I haven't even incorporated some of that. I threw my shield.
That's
I
the
threw
fifth
my
level spell
I threw my
version.
shield down, and an explosion came out of it, and it rocked the
Interesting.
person I was fighting.
Interesting.
Plus, we kind of just walked into the Feywild.
You found a crossover point?
Well,
It was
Oh,
just
yeah,
in the
that's why I ran
forest.
into y'all.
That's right.
back there.
Aiel was leading us. Aiel, why don't you describe what it was like?
You mean the forest that we were going through? Like when we just suddenly, so we were tracking our friend Zeke here. Well, I mean, not my friend. I don't even know him yet. But apparently he's their friend and he's important. He's a good goblin. But I was just sniffing, right? Because that's what I do. I sniff. Just
He does lots of meth.
He does it less now that he knows Paz, but
Just in a different direction.
So you
He
sniffed
stands downwind.
and you went into the woods? Where?
right outside the blockade.
outside one of the gates where his guard friends were.
Which ones? On the Black Dragon side?
Halt.
Oh, Raymond Holt.
That's right. He seems. We know he's from the Flaming Fist Mercenary Guild, but he seems like a stand-up kind of guy.
Can he be trusted?
Not as far as trusted, but we're gaining his trust.
Are you doing that? You have the right repartee to
Yeah.
do that.
Yes.
You
Being his men.
You should keep showing up.
We're taking his money.
We hope when we present the refrigerated heads that
Money.
we'll gain some further.
You know,
33.
We could make.
severed heads.
But they would only last 8 days.
They only have to last 8 days. Do you get paid immediately or on the 9th day?
Immediately.
Guess we could. That's
I don't
ki-
want. I
that's
don't want
kind
to
of
betray his
sick.
trust.
We're stealing from those that steal from others. Like, I mean, this baby doesn't fund itself.
We're like Goblin Hood.
Goblin.
Goblin. That's a good one. We steal from the rich and we give to ourselves?
Well, no, that. Remember, Robin Hood gave to the poor.
Yeah,
Told you that story?
finish your
All right.
description.
So
Yeah.
That's right.
In the woods outside of the southern one.
Yeah, and so we come across these goblins that are from here,
Uh-huh.
and we slaughter them all. Right?
Naturally.
Except one.
Our heads are in there.
Except one, who turns into this weird red goblin.
Red cap.
Yeah, that thing.
Oh, a red cap. Yeah, they're vicious.
Yeah.
Have you ever been kicked?
Yeah.
They're like the Timmy equivalent of.
He tried.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. They have metal boots and they try to kick you in the taint.
I was prepared from my training with
That's good.
with Timmy. Yeah.
That's good. They're vicious. So, did you obviously you won.
Well, we didn't. So, then this guy was talking to this donkey, right?
Donkeys.
I know they don't talk. Apparently they do.
Okay.
And it talked to him,
His name was Jameson.
and then he gave him some tea leaves.
Naturally.
I don't know why.
Yep.
And then I was fighting goblins at the time, and then everything just blew up.
What? The donkey? That's stupid.
It
It
turned
blew
into
up,
a
bro.
night.
I blew up. I nearly died.
That's unreasonable.
It was dumb.
It was like 2 fireballs going off at one time. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Oh my goodness. So you accidentally walked into the Fae, fought a red cap, talked to a talking donkey who exploded,
And turned into a nightmare.
and it turned into a nightmare.
And then, turns out, at the end of our
Literally,
quest,
not figuratively. Literally.
literally, and at the end of our quest, deep in the Feywild, this nightmare turns out to be the Keeper of the Cairns. Do you know of the Death Hills in the Feywild?
Oh yeah, I've heard of them. I've never been. I really wouldn't. It's a cemetery, essentially, right?
Right.
More
Apparently,
it seemed like a well manicured and curated place of rest.
That's where we found Zeke, anyway.
that's right.
And that's where you said they were trying to remove his
And then
soul.
we found a whole bunch of cultists. Cult. People who do evil things.
Cultists.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
Cultists.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we beat those guys. A couple of them got away. And then that's when we went through the door
And
at the end of our, and then that's how we got here.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of joined up in the middle of all that.
Did you? Oh, wow.
Been pretty
Okay.
eventful.
That's. I might send some of
Pretty
my
busy.
goblins out. Just to check.
Make sure they're careful.
It doesn't matter. They're dead in 9 days.
That's true.
I have a question too, the one that I wanted to ask like 30
Yeah.
minutes ago.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, so, just you explaining all these things, and with your cool Batlink suit, did you say it was?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why haven't you gone out and done any of the investigating / like fighting yourself, bro?
I'm old. I hurt.
You don't look old.
Thank you.
You look like Ricka.
I feel old.
Mm.
Many of those 25 years I've spent getting my ass kicked.
That's what happens with halflings when they're small. Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many times I've jumped off a roof and I didn't glide with my Batlink suit. Those were hard landings. But eventually I got it.
If he turns around, there's just a dent in his head.
You see this tuft of hair? He pulls it back. That's a fist.
It's a good thing that halflings are just naturally lucky.
Yeah, it is a good thing. But I've been tracking and following for 25 years down here. I set up shop hoping that I could find a person or a group that I could trust. That I have all of this information coming in, as you can see on the board. And on the board you see the name Nine Fingers with an X through it. I have all this information, but I can't do much with it anymore, physically. And I trust Rika, and if Rika trusts you...
I trust all of them. And he looks specifically at Paz when he says
Paz
that.
has tahini
Doo
dripping on his face, and some
Cilantro.
some
Stuck in his
cilantro
teeth.
in his teeth.
And pits.
Even those who are still figuring things out. And he looks at Sentry and IL.
Well, if that's the case, I might be able to funnel you information.
Money.
Not money, but I can give you goods. If
I
you
like
need
that
it.
better, actually.
Oh, like yeah, me too.
Or if you
Can I get a
bring-
suit?
You are a suit.
No. Like a,
Oh, a flying suit.
Can you fly already?
I mean, you can't. I'm not Iron. Wait, I don't know who Iron Man is. I am not Iron Man, but I could be.
Okay.
You can do. You say it's too much on you these days. So
Well, I mean, now who was holding the arm, the metal arm, with the Buzz Lightyear?
Me, I still have it.
You still have it, so you're just holding that.
His backpack.
Yeah.
He's been using it to gesture through the conversation.
Well, like,
Over there. He was raising his hand. He was actually raising the metal arm.
waving it.
He's like, no, I'll be called on.
So, like for instance, that clearly Warforged arm that you have with you, I could probably attach to your body, and you could use it as your own.
Sentry, she goes boom, just rips it.
Holy shit! I'm taking you with it now.
or maybe I can't.
Okay.
That's just shaking his head.
So you see him reach into his other pocket, and he pulls out like a blowtorch and a welding kit, and he takes the other arm and he climbs up on a stool, and you see him kind of welded onto your arm backwards.
Rika
And-
will go over and cast guidance on him.
That's a crit. So it's on there good.
Perfectly.
Perfect.
And you
Nice.
have
Wait, still backwards?
no.
Okay.
I'm joking. And
You backhand on your enemy.
like a Rakshasa now.
I gotta turn around to shoot.
So you now have this arm that the color doesn't
Looks like
quite match
this.
the rest of you. It's almost like a slate black. Not in a bad way.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's not onyx.
Oh, damn, I would have climbed over and
Cursed again. Roll a wisdom check.
Be you.
I start smacking myself. I can't stop.
So it's this matte slate color, much darker than most of the other metal that's on you. And when you point your wrist down, you are able to fire what looks to be like a laser bolt or something, a bolt of energy, which is the firebolt cantrip.
So he gets the firebolt
It's
cantrip?
a firebolt
That's
cantrip.
awesome.
Freaking awesome,
What
bro.
is-
Dude.
To infinity. Fire out of your arm.
What's his
Hell
modifier
yeah.
just mechanically?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. Okay. We'll figure that out.
-3.
Do it for now. Oh shit.
Take care of it like a gun every night. You know where it backfires on?
So yeah, you know the firebolt cantrip now with that arm. And then he also looks at the sword that you're carrying.
My hand will change.
Where'd you get that?
Kind of just came out
His
of me.
mother gave it to him.
Should I put it in the
Sword?
Yep.
You can put the sword in the...
Twitch?
Yes, that is correct. Sentry's last character put on a a mask and was cursed. So now we joke that Sentry is always going to be cursed.
I don't care as long as I'm on this table.
So this is the sword that was put in the chat that Sentry's holding. He goes, that's an old sword.
Where did you get that? I don't remember.
It looks like a tree, bro, but with a sword in it.
Yeah, where'd you get that sword?
That was in the.
Where I got that?
It was
You picked it up off a Trask.
Yeah.
He dropped it after he turned into a werewolf.
That's
Ah,
right. I
yes.
remember now.
That was the sword you had? He had?
That is the sword he had.
I thought you said it.
That's... Past, do you recognize that sword?
I tried to grab it, but
It does have the same emblem, the flaming fist emblem.
Yeah, but that was Sylvanic sword.
It looks kind of like it would be held with two hands, or
It
maybe.
actually never was.
That's
Check out
not-
this
was supposed
forearm.
to be.
Oh, I thought he did get it. He didn't? That was...
till he screwed up.
What we were building towards.
Got it.
So yeah, that was.
That's not the sword that I saw through the Kaz lookalike dead body in that vision I had, was it?
Oh, that's right.
Maybe it was.
We
Maybe it was.
We baptized him and then...
Yeah.
And then he went to the tavern.
So that sword
What?
does look like the sword you had in your vision of a deceased Paz holding it.
Good knowing you guys.
I didn't tell you that.
I know.
I was just kidding. I would tell you. Oh, hey, that looks like the sword that was like
That was
impaling you.
remember when I dreamed you were dead?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That kind of looks
this
just
isn't
like what was
comfortable.
stuck through you.
Is that where that
That's
belongs?
I'm like, yeah, just could take a little off the top.
Sentry's gonna kid and go like this and just cut off the armpit here. Just,
Grows back instantly.
oh my God.
Wait, Badger's not here.
Thank goodness.
Could bottle that.
All right,
Whatever, and
so-
sell it.
Here's the last thing that I learned, though. So all fun and games. I'm glad you can shoot fire bolts out of your wrist. That's fun. In the underground, you know how there's 4 dukes on the surface level.
What?
Then there are 4 families, crime families on the lower level, and they all kind of work together to run this city.
I'm not very familiar
What
with
are
the
their
lower,
names, bro?
the lower parts.
Of what? The dukes?
No, the evil dudes down the stairs.
Well, there's a bunch.
Are they all evil?
What are their names?
They're not necessarily evil. They just have different ways of doing things to keep their power. So one of them's the Iron Throne. One of them is the Shadow Thieves. Yeah, but they're kind of evil. I mean, they're thieves. One of them is the Flaming Fist Mercenary Guild. And one of them now, and this is where it gets interesting, the 4th family was eradicated. Just removed by the Zent. The Zent have made their way as one of the 4 crime families, so to speak.
Zend.
And they don't act like the Zentarum that I know. I, in fact, worked with the Zent a little bit back in Neverwinter. Just a little bit.
Did they train you when you were young, and then that's how you became? a
No,
martial
it was
artist?
like one of those things where we both had a common enemy, and I see where you were going with that, but no. There was no Ra's al Ghul at the end of that. But
Ra's al Goblin.
yeah. These Zent are ruthless and very, very hierarchical. And I don't know if they completely killed the other family or assimilated them by force, but the Zent are there, and Nine Fingers is dead. Nine Fingers, who is the linchpin holding all of this together,
That's right.
deceased. You
Who
know
died?
that.
How did she die?
She was stabbed, but there was no sign of forced entry.
You
Yep.
knew about Nine Fingers?
No, I didn't.
I know of Nine Fingers. We'll talk about it later. We had some common enemies.
Can you I don't want to interrupt you, but can you remind me the list of names that we saw?
You saw Nine Fingers on. You're talking the
That's
list
right.
you found on
Yeah.
the Dead
Yes.
Wizard
Yeah.
Tower.
Yeah.
You saw Nine Fingers with where the address sign was a question mark. And you saw, I want to say pericope, but that's not it.
No, we saw Nine Fingers at the safe house. Wasn't Nine Fingers question mark?
You also saw it there
In the journal, yeah.
in the journal
Yeah.
from
Apex.
Not 8. I was gonna say 0.
Apex.
Apex.
Yep.
Yeah. So you saw it twice now.
but yeah.
Nine Fingers is dead in Apex's letter.
Prophelius. It's Prophelius.
And Prophelius was another name that you remembered from the letter from the Wizard's Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Question mark next to the address again. So, yeah, there's no forced entry when they found the body. It was like whoever it was snuck up on him or was even let in. And she was dead. Nothing was tipped over. Nothing was asunder. It was like they walked in, they were a ghost, stabbed her, and walked out.
And because of the political upheaval that this caused, there was no investigation into the murder?
It's odd because it seemed to happen as the Mage Plague really took off. So on the surface level, political upheaval was occurring. And on the underground with the families, Nine Fingers is dead. So now there's all 4 families are vying for the Nine Fingers spot. As you know, Nine Fingers was not her name, it's actually a title.
Who stands the most to gain from Nine Fingers dying?
Literally anyone.
Who stands the most to gain by
You know,
activity being focused on infighting? Like a distraction.
I mean,
That's a good question.
that is a good question. From what I can gather, it's going to be one of the Dukes or one of the crime families.
Oh,
'Cause if I wanted to do... if
The
there was
Nine
all these
Fingers
rituals-
position was the liaison
Mhm.
between the surface level politics and the crime families. That's why the position was so important. They were the linchpin to make sure things went smoothly, that trade was not interrupted. And go ahead.
How does, like, let's say we wanted to just find one of these families, could we just, like, go and secretly join, but we actually didn't join? We're there to infiltrate them, and then we find information out?
It doesn't work that way from my understanding. The Iron Throne, none of you are gnomes, so you'll never get in.
You can only be a gnome to be in the Iron Throne?
Oh, you...
he
Yeah.
could be a gnome.
well, I'd be a tall gnome.
A handsome gnome.
Would I know, would Ricka know that we just went through Sigil?
Yep.
We just met one of them. Of the Iron Throne, yeah.
You mean the one that was all worried that we were back in his little area?
Yeah.
The key dude?
Yeah,
That
they
sounds
ha-
about right.
They have a back door into there, as you now know.
I wonder if they do on every room requirement.
That
That's-
is...
Wait, so you're saying that they could
Gary.
invade you at any time, basically, now?
Well,
And
you
our
just did.
house. And our house that has the only access to the sewers that we know of.
Do you know how to turn one off? If
The rumor requirement?
if you haven't set it, yeah. Because Zentas set it and forget it.
And-
Yeah, we're gonna have to... I'm gonna have to teach one of you the magic.
I love it!
Okay, I'll teach you some other time.
So like now.
Eventually.
1.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today. So,
Do you think... So, the Black Mask...
Rip off an arm.
Is
will
the
that just
head-
can't
new
even be
to me.
taught
That's
something
right.
Mask.
useful?
So the Black Mask, is this a bad one?
This
hate
is
this
the,
part.
the most bad.
Of what?
I think they were called the Masks of Mortis and Arcus.
You see him pull out his pad and he writes that in and circles it. I'm gonna look this up.
Something to do with the original treasures in occult.
Okay.
They have 3 marks. Something about 3 old kings or something. It's
That's right.
unclear. We don't know, but there's several masks that were doing this ritual to Dove and others that we found and came across, and then we ran into. We had the one with the voice of the black mask. Yeah, that's what we had.
Is that what you heard down...
in the cairn. That's what we had talked.
So,
In the Lord Avarice tomb?
Yes. Does anyone know that name of Avars? What that is?
He writes that one down too. That means nothing to me.
Would I know
Have I ever
anything?
heard of
Like,
that?
is he what is my plane of people now? Okay.
It's a
just
good
one.
question. None of you know that name. What are you gonna roll?
I want to roll a natural 20.
Go for it.
I want to roll a natural 20. Oh, wait a minute.
You're gonna have to.
Ooh, so
I rolled a 19 with a 4 for my Arcana guidance thing.
Nope.
You know every connotation of the word Lord.
Yes.
And avarice, just not together.
Yeah, right.
The
That-
dots are there.
That's going to have to be something you're gonna look up later in this game.
That would have been so fun if I crit.
Yeah, I mean it was set higher than you could roll.
I would have.
So, okay, so the Black Mask was talking to who? Rika.
I didn't. They're above, and I was listening, and they're talking about the hobgoblin that we slew that sword was from, and about messing up, and then about an agent having another way to complete the ritual outside Baldur's Gate.
What ritual?
The ritual
With
that was
Zeke.
being done to Zeke, and they would use a different goblin.
Outside of Baldur's Gate?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Okay, that's not good.
Was Rika the only one who heard all that?
Yeah.
No, I think I was the only one that didn't.
You didn't hear it for sure. I remember that.
Okay.
We'll go with
So Rika's trying to
This
look
is
to
the
the group to kind of corroborate what they heard
I really
above
wish I
us.
did.
outside of Baldur's Gate. Okay. I am going to my next 10 are going to go on scouting missions outside of Baldur's Gate only.
And you said that Pass. You said that the voice that you had them talking to was the voice of the little gnome collector that killed
Yeah.
Sydney. Right?
Boomer.
I heard his voice. I didn't hear what he said. I mean,
But you would know it was Boomer talking.
oh yeah, no, without a doubt. That's why I went that way.
A collector,
Mhm.
a gnomish collector. That's not good.
Little prick that throws bombs.
Do you think? Oh,
Hey, Eugene.
You know your buddies, the collectors that are so great, right?
that
Th-
you can call me Stumpy.
Hey, Stumpy.
Yep.
So your research is trying to focus on transferring the consciousness of an individual into essentially a new vessel.
Yep.
The ritual that we've stumbled across was essentially trying to do the same thing.
How convenient.
And the Iron Throne have secret entrances into your place of being.
Yeah.
So, did you ever work with anybody in developing this process?
Are
or did
you-
anybody help you with
Are
that?
you insinuating that he's part of the Iron Throne just because he's a gnome?
I'm a halfling, but thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't know. Yeah.
Racist.
Chapter 6 in Liquid.
I say to Aiel, I think you're on the trail of something here. I pick up like random just crap off the like a nearby desk and I say, can you work on like fitting this together? This might be something for your research that might be able to
And
connect
Stumpy
it.
hands you some red yarn. Yes, connect the dots.
Yes. That would be critical. That's a part of your
We need
critical
a murder
puzzle.
wall.
So he's doing that. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just, like, intellectual property theft is a real problem, you guys. I'm just saying, if you started this research and somebody has unknowingly, according to you, or been able to access this research or find it, that might have been a jumping off point for part of the rituals.
I didn't know this was a problem, first off, that you were encountering. I didn't know there were back entrances to the room of requirements.
Oh, I know. I'm not trying to implicate you.
I'm just thinking out loud here. I have a contact at Candlekeep who I was working with.
What's his name?
And also, does he handle admissions? By small change.
I've only spoken to this individual through letters, and we use initials. I don't know who they are, but they helped me a little while ago. Tax Arcana showed me how to set up the room of requirement, and I was in communication with an M.C on the magic of transference.
Would I recognize, so being somebody who's, and this might be a long shot and I get that, but as somebody who has studied up on the academy, probably knows a lot about the people who are teachers there and scholars there, would I recognize the initials MC as any known professor or scholar teaching at the academy? Like, you know,
Now
research
we're gonna
papers
roll
signed.
your D100 vision.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was the guy that we're supposed to give the
The ring.
yeah?
That is
98.
Cecil.
I rolled a 98 again.
You
I turned
did.
98% evil. Let's do it. You guys are all dead.
Yeah.
No campaign.
So you remember
Amazing.
Cecil, the map maker from Steven, right? Cecil never made mention if he was a gnome.
Mm-hmm. Could he be Master Cecil?
That's a good question.
Mr. Cecil.
That's a good question. So maybe you keep that in your idea bank. You're 98. You do know of at least 2 gnomish professors. at
One's the
Candlekeep.
true MC.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he teaches history of linguistics. Right?
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
His first syllabus item is the real Slim Shady. Who is it? Module 1.
You have a vision in your
shit.
mind, and everyone sees her kind of go stiff.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets loose, and her eyes glaze over white, and it looks like she's pushing through people, like she's walking, but she's not moving
She's
anywhere.
in her mind palace.
Yeah. And you hear her going, no, nope, that's not it. Nope, no, I went stumpy. Oh heavens, no, that's not it. No, and you see her mimic
I
sitting.
forgot about that traumatic memory. Keep
You
on.
see her mimicking opening up a door, and in her mind's eye, she sees this massive auditorium with a small stage down in front with this tiny little podium. And this little gnome walks to the podium and addresses the podium. And your vision goes away. You saw on the door, before you opened it, auditorium room 104.
Goodness.
Oh, okay.
And you're back.
I just had another vision. I saw a gnome dressed in like a professor. He walked out onto the stage, and he was in an auditorium, and he started to address the people in the auditorium. But I saw the door. It had a number in brass lettering and on it 104. Probably a classroom. If we could find out who teaches that class or in that classroom and is a gnome professor there, that might be a shady contact there.
Would stand to reason, maybe.
Maybe if I point out that he is violating intellectual property rights, I can gain admission now.
Good lawyer for that.
Just
First I'll say, hi, can I be enrolled? And if they say no, I say, well, you're going to jail then, sir.
Speak to your manager.
I'm now the scandal of college admissions.
You're the whistleblower.
Yeah.
Like USC. Pay for play. So, Stumpy says, that's all very interesting. I never thought of any of this. I am going to keep a goblin posted at night now. They obviously sleep. I'm going to create one that has an opposite schedule and is up at nighttime just to watch the back wall.
Well, I mean,
That's a
do
good
the
idea.
students of Candlekeep ever go out in the town?
No, you don't leave. You
It's
don't
worth it.
leave. You don't leave until you graduate and you're placed where you need to be.
Unless you're a murderous collector.
Yeah, that's new information to me. That obviously is not how they're supposed to operate.
it was the little gnome, and almost mechanized, half man, half machine
Mechanized?
man that had a
Strange.
a rod of iron that discharged metal slugs.
I've heard about these. They're called goons. G-U-N, like a goon or a gun or something.
June?
A joon? It
Joon.
might be a joon.
June. I think it's a June.
It's a joon.
Yeah, the clearly
Explosive Junes.
their artifice have created these things.
Many artificers are gnomes. You have me worried that the Iron Throne might be making a play here.
That's out of character. for
It's
them.
100% out of character. They usually just deal in information, and that's what keeps them powerful.
But would they work with non-norms to do so?
Typically, no. But I don't know. I don't know. This is good information.
Ariel comes back from doing all this.
What'd you figure
work.
out, Catman?
He comes back. He's like, guys, I figured it out. All right. So there's this picture of this guy here, and you nicknamed him the Puffin. Okay.
Puffin. Okay.
The Puffin. And then there's this guy over here, and he's nicknamed the Question Man. I don't know
The
why
Puffin
he did
and the
that
Question
one.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this guy, he's Professor Shivers. I don't know who that is either.
No, he's
Sounds
very
like a
cold.
cat.
Yeah, I heard he's cold. It's you, bro. Icicles all around him. And then they all add up to this other guy, whose name
Means shh.
it doesn't say shush.
Hey, would you hush?
Sorry,
Alright, would
sorry,
you hush and
sorry.
let him finish?
I will. I apologize.
Yeah,
I was distracted by the jovial clown person.
Who gave him
Oh,
the
you mean the
yarn?
laugh?
yeah. That he's up there.
Yeah, he's the laugher.
He's the laugh. Yeah, the
Yeah.
laugher.
Yeah.
That one was already named. I didn't have to name that
Yeah,
one.
no. He who laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it all
I really
connects
hate
to
that
the.
guy. He's like my mortal enemy.
And then there's this other guy who's named Muscle Man. I wish I was that guy. He's really big.
Yeah. He's all synthetic though. He's fake.
What does synthetic mean?
It's just fake. It's not real muscle. I mean, if he punches,
It's like
you,
a
it
real
hurts.
goblin
Hey, he picks,
versus not a real
He
he
goblin.
picks up his head and his hair. That's from Muscle Man.
Oh my gosh.
Is that like Fudge Face?
Yeah. He can look like anything. Kind of like you.
What about Alligator Man?
Can I call you Fudge
Okay,
Face
so
now?
you've got all of these.
Darian's gonna snap his fingers, and he's gonna just be like this clump of chocolate.
I call him the Hershey's Kiss.
So you've got this rogues gallery, so to speak, of all of my mortal enemies, and you think that they're all conspiring against me to end the world?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. That's what I figured out. Did I figure it
Did
out?
you win the case?
Yeah, did I figure it out?
It's solid. It's
Do you
rock
give him a
solid.
little? Do you give him a little clue packet
Yeah.
from the board game of Clue with like the weapon, the culprit in the room?
It's pretty good. I'll tell you what. I'll look into it.
Really?
Oh
Good
yeah,
job, Ariel.
definitely.
I
See, that's why I put you on the test.
I had high score.
High score, yeah.
I knew that only someone of your intelligence would be able.
It's because
to
I'm a
do it.
nitwit, right?
You know.
Yeah.
So
Chief
Brave and
nitwit.
Darian, so does Darian have the bag of holding?
Yeah.
Darian's gonna search through it for a Sherlock Holmes hat. So he can give it to
you definitely
to Ariel.
find 3 of those.
With the heads on them?
Here,
Shake the
wear
head
this.
What is it?
It's a hat for detectives.
Because you're clearly one. Some would say the world's greatest detective. Good for you.
That's also him.
Good for you. So here's what I would recommend. I have the most information on this brownstone, kind of by 123 Dock Street. Why is he looking at you like that?
Isn't that where we live,
Is
guys?
that
That's right.
the orphanage?
It used to be Sister Mary's orphanage, yes. The Zent, remember I said how they aggressively moved into town? They aggressively kicked them out of there and took over the brownstone. Now,
When?
if I'm not mistaken, can you turn your shield back over? Okay. You see how there's 3 X's on there?
Mm-hmm.
The bottom right one looks like it corresponds with your house.
That's right.
Makes sense if you have entrance to the Undercity. The one right above it is eerily close to where that brownstone is. If I were a betting man, and my bookie says that I am, I would bet they may be one and the same.
Who's your bookie?
Don't worry about it. You don't want to get in deep like I am. You don't want that life.
I have that life.
I have that life.
I am
I
that
love
life.
gambling.
He's in the upper city district.
Is that why you live in the woods?
He lost everything. He's on the lam.
It's because his bookies only live 9 days.
He has to start over every 9 days.
You could actually
You
take
you go through
you
an
could take
audit
them
every.
and make big bets, and when they can just get off. And you won't-
Yeah, they can't ever collect.
They're like, you owe me a bunch of coin. He's like, well, for 2 more days.
Yep.
I'll get it to you in 2 days.
I promise. After my retirement party, I get paid out.
Have some
Oh.
cake.
My goodness. So,
So
I would,
X on Brownstone, X
I would-
on our house.
and then there's one over on the Sea Tower district, it says. I don't know where that would be. I'm not as familiar with the Sea Tower side, but your parents might be. Rika.
Try not to involve them.
Smart.
You have parents.
Yeah, my furbolg parents, yeah. You know what I mean?
You're what?
What?
My
Fearbulk.
Are
my
you
mum.
adopted?
It's a recent revelation, yeah, that I had
Oh, you didn't.
about my parentage. I thought
Your parents, the
I was-
Furbolgs?
I was waiting for puberty, and
Hmm.
certain things happened.
Your head grew.
Yeah. But there's other transformations that did not happen, and I just assumed that I needed to keep
Oh,
going.
like a halfling didn't turn into a cow person?
I was.
Excuse me.
There are lots of magical things in this world.
And that's not one of them.
Yeah, Dad just told me that, like, about a month ago, and I'm still emotionally processing that.
You didn't like grow off of a tree?
No, apparently they took me in when I was a little wee one,
Very noble.
so I'm actually an adopted orphan.
Took you in from
And he
what,
looks at
though?
Paz when he says that.
Paz just has his head down.
Shaking.
No,
You mean philosophy.
So,
dreaming of it.
You already
Eating
ate it. You
falafel.
already ate all.
I told you it's good, right? Anytime you want one, you come back here.
Mental note, he'll be over here. When you get up in the morning, 7:21, I will be here at 7:22.
I think it was 7:04, right?
I get up at 7:05, so
05.
you get the hell out of here. So,
Did the
okay.
Laughing Man have? Is something? Because the Laughing Man is marked up a lot in your book.
Yeah.
Did he have something to do with that 7:05 wake up time?
Yeah. We had another kid working with us who his name was Jason, and he mutilated him. So
Oh.
that's why I only work with goblins now. No one cares if they die. I do, but no one else does.
Why? I like goblins.
That's good because you can speak it.
It's true.
So I would focus on that brownstone though.
All right.
Is that where we're gonna find the Muscle Man?
You might.
Hmm.
I've also heard that the Gypsy King is associated with the Zent.
The who?
Where do you understand the Gypsy King to reside?
That's the crazy thing. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
But the stories are that he is holding Haven hostage, per se, and he comes and goes between the underground and the upper ground as he pleases. He almost sounds like a mythical man, so to speak, but I've heard way too much chatter about this Gypsy King for him to be a falsehood.
What's his race?
Yeah, have I heard anything more in detail about this from my great aunt?
You would have.
So
Right?
the Gypsy King, in my understanding, when he or she interacts with Haven, sends liaisons. They've never actually
You're saying this out of character because he just found out about Haven.
What?
Stumpy.
The Gypsy King?
Stumpy just found out about Haven though.
Right. Well, no, he thought Haven was
A myth. Okay.
a myth. So he's going by what he's been told, but he assumed that Haven's a myth. As he thinks the Gypsy King might be real, but the Gypsy King might be... Basically what we're getting at here is it might be a title. It might be a person. It might be persons.
What if it's a cover-up and it's actually a gypsy queen?
That, again, it could be a title. So there have been stories that it's a Goliath. It's a large man. There have been stories that it's a gnome, which would be more worrisome to me now. There's been stories that it's an elf.
I don't think any of the masks were dwarves or gnomes.
And now that
or
you mention it,
halflings.
one of the stories is that it was a masked person. That
What
would-
kind of mask?
I didn't get that. Just that
Not
it's a
the
mask.
Eugene mask.
No, not one of mine.
Okay.
Full mask.
Would I know if Madame Trudeau has ever interacted with these liaisons?
Definitely, because the three wizards, the three divination wizards of Haven, would have interacted with the liaisons.
Mm-hmm.
So you can corroborate the liaison story for sure.
Have you told us that? I know you just said that out of character, but have you told us that you're connected with Madame Trudeau? Okay.
She sent me out to find and help you guys.
Okay. I can't. I just couldn't remember if you
She
said that.
She
in
said
your
that like
introduction
the
of
minute
yourself.
she happily
Yeah.
smelling like cornbread.
Yeah.
Because I remember that we talked about her being from Haven.
Right.
I just didn't remember if she mentioned Trudeau specifically. But
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
Great aunt. You didn't really like her too much. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I guess your cacophony person kicked her through a window. Impressive.
You actually fixed a lower back issue she'd been having, so she wasn't too mad about
Well,
it.
there you go. Maybe she saw it coming and she
Oh, no,
didn't
she
get out of
did.
the way.
She did.
So, those are what I've heard. That is what I've heard, that they deal with liaisons with Haven, which I guess now is real, if you've seen it. And there are many stories out there as to who the Gypsy King is. But there seems to be an odd connection with the Brownstone,
Mm.
the Zent, the Gypsy King, and Haven.
All right. Seems like a mask thing to me.
So be careful. There's tomfoolery afoot. You are my chosen.
Darren kneels. He's holding Zeke, but he kneels down in front of Stumpy.
Rika
Please.
looked at him with a kind of raised eyebrow and bemused look.
I'll be here if you need me to help make things. I'm going to be sending my people out. So if you have information you want me to act upon, I'll do it.
Any healing potions?
Dude, weren't you going to teach me something?
Yeah, later.
I still want the cake recipe.
I have a question.
Cake recipe.
Go on, Lion Man.
Do you have any fire-resistant clothing by
He likes sundresses.
Fire resistant.
anything fire-resistant? Doesn't even have to be a lot, just to cover up the good parts.
No, but I can work on it. Give me like 2 weeks.
All right.
And if it looks like a bat, that's even better.
Bat bikini.
Lion bat.
Hey, at some point, maybe now or later, but, you know, I have been doing a lot of studies myself onto causes of madness, especially when they are influenced by factors that are magical. And if in your research you want your buddy to come back one day, the madness, I imagine, would be a problem to work through. So I was wondering if maybe we could trade some research.
I think you can definitely come over here and we can work in the cave.
Can Rika insight that with her?
Sure. Are you trying to? Are you trying?
I'm
to do
trying to
anything?
understand.
Not you.
The root of
Her.
Oh, okay.
Are you trying to be deceptive? Or
No, I just want... I think that he could offer some
insight.
different research than I've been previously focusing on.
And you are trying to see why she's asking that. I'm assuming. What'd you roll?
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
you would know that there is a very personal, like, not just pride or arrogance driving it, but there's some sort of selfless motivation behind why that is so prevalent and why she pulls out that essay all the time and is working on it. So interested in anytime somebody seems to be exhibiting causes of madness.
Cool.
Which is why Mincemeat's actually over there, like, doing his own bird thing, but he's taking notes on Zeke this whole time.
Gotcha.
He's, like, measuring with his beak, like, different things around him.
Right. So, you know my secrets. I am, yes, the Batling and Goblin.
Are you a millionaire?
I'm well off.
Are you comfortable?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you could give us money then, right?
I'm not going to, but I could, yeah. Could do a lot of things. Not going to.
Gave us these masks, yeah.
I gave you a bag of holding twice now. I've given you information. I've given him an arm that shoots a firebolt spell.
I'm alright, I get it.
I
I'm
gave you an
sorry.
arm back.
My papa's
Thank
not
you.
giving me money.
Damn it, he
anyways.
gave me falafels.
Gave you falafels. I'm a giving individual. Now, I'm giving you a chance to leave.
Get out. Gotta go to bed.
Well, I've gotta brew up my next batch.
The Batling never sleeps.
His minions don't. Or at least this next batch. They need to be ever vigilant and stare at my back wall.
Wait, are they just gonna stare with, like, a hammer raised the whole time?
From 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's their shift.
Why don't you just make a giant bag of holding?
Effectively, we are in a giant bag of holding.
That holds anybody that comes in.
Interesting. Like a force cage or something. Ooh, I'll think about it. Not a bad idea, Head Squally. So, Stumpy. At your service. You guys look beleaguered. You should get some rest.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Go home.
What time of day is it? Obviously, we went out in the morning,
Yep.
got to the Fae
Yep.
in midday,
Yep.
and then we were in the Feywild, and then poofed back through a portal.
Yep.
Like, what?
Still midday.
Okay.
Same time, we didn't miss any.
That you don't know.
Yeah, what's the date? Yeah. It doesn't really matter, but
Yeah.
is it the same day?
No. It is not the same day.
Okay. I had
You-
1 day, 2
You
days,
guys lost about 6 days.
6 days. Okay. That's interesting. We should get back to our house.
And you said the fire clothing will be ready in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Yep, about 20 days.
2
Sounds
10 day,
good.
yeah, 2 10
10
day.
day. Be careful. Just please be careful. I fear there's a lot more going on than even we looked at, and you brought up some connection points that, as you can see on my board, I didn't even have connected. So,
You're welcome.
You just took the credit for that? Oh my god!
I love that.
That's
so
awesome.
great.
so, yeah,
Intellectual thievery!
you guys all look tired. You should go get some rest. Except for you.
I'm tired.
You look tired. You really look tired. You always look tired.
Darian's gonna snap his fingers and he's gonna look exactly like Sentry.
Oh. Just a smaller version.
Just a smaller version.
Okay, interesting.
He's like, I have a son.
Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Is that you?
Darian.
All right, go out the door, climb up the stairs, and you'll know where you are and you can leave. I've got to make my next batch. He hits the button on the side. Paz, as you walk out, there's another falafel waiting for you on like a silver platter.
Doesn't even ask anybody. Like, not even a chance. Just eating them on the way out. Turns around. It's like, I really trust that guy.
Awesome.
Love that guy.
Evan loved that guy.
Love that guy.
I had a friend named Ranger, yeah. He also makes good things.
So you guys make your way out of Eugene's Epicureal Emporium or whatever the heck I called it.
Emporium of Eccentricities.
That's it. That's it. Eugene's Emporium of Eccentricities. And you are now on Worms Crossing, making your way back towards the Church of Last Hope to take the Dust Hawk path to make your way to 123 Dock Street. It's midday. Best you can tell, probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Zeke is still passed out. How long does a sleep spell last?
That's a good question. Sleep duration. 1 minute.
He's been awake for that conversation.
Not necessarily.
Magically.
You forced him to sleep,
Yeah.
and then
Or-
he just naturally kept sleeping.
Mincemeat kept knocking him out.
that would indicate that he's actually in a healing state now, because he was forced to go to sleep, and now he's actually continuing
Yes,
to rest.
that's
Or
probably
he's
a
just
good thing.
dying.
Or he's just dying.
He's choking on a health potion.
Yeah.
Never actually emptied it.
Or
just-
he's choking on
bottle.
something, but because he's on the sleep
The
spell,
cork
he
is
can't
stuck
tell
to
anyone.
So you guys see the familiar.
You killed him!
You see the familiar pitch of your roof on 123 Dock Street. It looks great. It didn't burn down.
This is a nice little hovel. Is this where y'all live?
That's right.
You've been here before. Yeah.
I
She hasn't.
You knocked on the door and met us here.
No.
No, I met you guys in the
that?
woods.
That
That
was
was
them.
us, bro. And we were like bleeding, hurt.
I thought she came
And
in like
where-
right after.
No, I was in the
Paz
woods.
grabs Ricka.
We met her in the
Gives it-
woods,
look,
bro.
it's like, let's get some sleep.
I-
You-
My mind is going apparently. Yeah.
Darian
Wait.
immediately goes upstairs and lays Zeke
You got to
down
take
on
one
the bed.
off of your keen mind.
No!
Oh!
Oh,
joking.
dang!
Darian,
0.5.
Darian, you go up and lay down.
No, I immediately go up and lay Zeke down on one of it,
Okay.
and then I go out.
When you get in and Zip and Zed see you carrying their goblin friend, they are ecstatic. Like, think of you've been away for the whole day and you come home to your dog and it's just so happy to see you. It's jumping around and they're just so happy to see you carrying a small creature. And then when they see the other third of him and they see him purple, they're a little concerned. What's
Yeah.
wrong? Is he okay?
Well, right now he's resting, but he was a part of a ritual, and we don't really know what that was doing, except for it seemed like they were funneling spirits into him to make him available for another soul of someone who might have been dead or is dead.
They did it. Did they do it?
What do you
Only
mean?
What do you,
we stopped.
When we got out, we heard them talking about a spiritual overload. We ran away. Did they overload him?
You heard them?
Yeah, Trask and Morrow. And
Trask is dead. Who's Marl?
that was the dog.
Marl's dead.
How about the cultist?
What cultist?
I believe it was the dragon cultist.
Was
The
a
wizard-
big
the
dude
wizard
with a
dude?
big staff
Yeah,
who chanted
Yeah, yeah,
things
yeah.
all the time.
that's the one. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Come,
that
Lord
guy.
Avarice, come.
Was
He was the scary one.
was he a minotaur? Because we
No.
fought the minotaur.
Was it-
No, the big guy with the staff who was being like, "Oh, Lula,
Come,
come,
Lord
whatever
Avarice,
is calm."
come.
That guy
He
who ran away.
Can you guys do that again?
You guys are on it.
I feel like this key mind thing is really needing to happen. We need to get this.
Why don't I get the feet? Nope.
Dude, you
can
just
work on
get
it.
slightly less dull.
That was all
mind.
above us.
Yep.
So we didn't. I didn't.
Yeah,
Rick
you
did Rickus see that?
You remember the grate?
Yeah.
Yeah. You saw through the grate.
So we did see through the grate, and
Yeah.
the wizard that we saw,
Yep.
was a minotaur.
Was he?
Yes.
Then yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a goblin, but no, you're right.
Oh.
It is a minotaur.
They look alike.
The hobgoblin wizard is someone else.
Correct.
Sorry, I'm confusing stories.
Oh wait, so the
You did see a minotaur.
There were two minotaurs.
There, yes, there were. Yeah,
Is he talking about the one I killed or the other one?
No, I'm
Okay,
talking
yeah,
about the
okay,
one. You
okay,
are
sweet.
correct. The one that was chanting, "Come, Lord Avarice, come."
Yes.
I was thinking of a hobgoblin wizard. That's a different story.
They're closely related and connected.
Yeah, I play in way too many games, and I just confused. I'm pretty sure an LDR plot line with a TCA one.
We all get +1 key
They're
mind.
both. They're
Did
connected.
he,
They
Matt?
work for the same
Did
organization.
The reality is that both could have been there.
They work for the same organization. Yes.
And in fact, maybe they were both there, but we didn't see the other one.
So anyway, yeah, that one. I forgot. I remember the horns now.
Yeah, okay. Do you know the name?
No. We didn't get. We shouldn't even have heard spiritual overload.
Yeah,
We were
let
just like,
the cultist got away.
okay,
But the hobgoblin and the dog are dead.
awesome. He was a jerk. That's great. Still a problem that the hobgoblin lives, or, well, he lives too,
The Minotaur.
and the Minotaur. Okay.
Has anything been happening around here? Anyone poking around?
No, not really. No. Patty's been cleaning and cooking, and we've been, foraging and things and trying to keep our mind busy. You want to see what we built?
You built something?
Oh yeah,
Let's go see.
it's out back. Oh yeah.
He's way too happy about this.
Is it by the outhouse?
I find.
Utre,
What's his name?
Elijah.
Elijah. Yeah.
Yeah. He came back for like a night or two, and he went up to talk to Xanthos. They seemed to have a good conversation. There was a lot of laughing, and then when he left, he took an apple. I remember this because I wanted to eat that apple. It was a nice green apple.
Oh, little green apple.
Yeah, it was sour. They're the best. And he said, "I have something to check out outside of the Dragon District."
Mm.
And that was like 2 weeks ago.
Wonder.
The
Could he-
Dragon District.
I think he means the Black Dragon Gate.
Could he be talking about the other blockade up there?
That's up there. And Eugene just said that there's things happening politically in that district and the potential for 5th
Duke.
Duke. Yeah,
He had concern in his eyes when he said it.
you're very insightful.
Mm.
Well, he had my apple. So I was zeroed in like a hawk.
So he gets an automatic +10 to insight if apples are involved.
Basically, if it's one he wants to eat.
That's amazing.
So I was like, "Beep."
That's
And
the
I
apple
saw,
feat.
because he took a bite right before or right after he said it. So like my eyes followed and I saw his eyes and I could tell one of two things. He was concerned about where he was going, or the apple was very tart.
I take his detective
And
hat.
it's-
and turn it
It's
to him.
about that time that we reach the backyard.
We go through the kitchen, and when you're going through the dining room, you notice that the table and chairs that were there are not there. They're not there at all.
What is this empty room?
Wait till you see what we made. Wait till you see what we made.
No.
And he proudly opens up the back door, and you see this mini arena that was built
Oh no.
God.
with like a wrestling stage in the middle and chairs piled around it.
We had so much fun in the rumor requirement wrestling. We thought, and Zeke really liked it, that if you were able to bring him back, first thing we were going to do is elbow drop him from a distance.
Well, I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, now I see that something happened, but so maybe it's the second thing we do. Second, after he wakes up. But, yeah, it's a nice day. We thought, we'll lather ourselves up with oil and just get in there.
I'll. Isn't that something that your people would do? Yeah, you'd get oiled, and then your lions would just like go at it.
We never oiled ourselves ever.
Saliva.
There was anointing with oil,
So you oiled yourselves?
Not. We didn't slather. It was like
Dad.
like you went like this to people, like, and you did it on their forehead. Yep, just like that.
So anyway,
I can't tell if it's roleplay.
what we thought is
Big lad.
it would be a way for us to learn some good wrestling moves. So in case we're ever attacked again, we can actually defend ourselves. And we kind of go upstairs sometimes when we talk to Xanthos, and he gives us moves to try, and then we try them out here on each other.
So like you're working on the grappler feet out here.
We are working on the grappler feat and the tavern brawler feat,
Nice.
in particular.
I have that one already, and I can help you.
Awesome.
So let's just make sure whatever final battle we have in this campaign takes place in a tavern,
And-
so our army can be of assistance.
And Elijah taught me a special move. You want to see it?
Yes, I do.
You want?
Is it called the pile driver?
No. It's so much better.
Show it on IL. He's
Yeah, IL, hop in there.
Are you sure?
Do it.
You want
My
to see
dad used to wrestle with me. I'm pretty
it?
good.
Okay. Stand there. Stand there like this.
Just
Can I please get a portent? Please, someone.
You want-
Please.
all right.
You want your
That would be
legs
so
like shoulder
funny.
width apart and your hands in a ready position. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yup.
He runs
Go
up and
ahead.
kicks him in the nuts.
Close your eyes, IL.
Okay.
Do you smell?
Use your cat scissors.
1, 2. He does a split and uppercuts your crotch. 3. It's called the low blow.
Do you have to
he
make a
fall-
constitution
He
save?
falls over, and he falls on the stage, and he crashes through the stage.
You fall off.
Yeah.
I bet on him.
And the whole point is you don't hit them on 3.
That's so sneaky.
That's at least how Elijah did it to Zip.
Elijah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I love it.
Sentry celebrates, but actually sends off a firebolt.
Yes. One of the goblins is like fatality in the background. They've been practicing their Mortal Kombat voices.
So yeah. We've been practicing because we don't want to ever get ransacked again, or at least we want to put up a fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
IL gets up, and he goes, "My turn to show you a move I learned back home."
No, we're not playing. We have weight classes, stupid.
Are you bantamweight?
Yeah. So, okay. We're gonna practice. You guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah, we're gonna sleep.
Darian actually has already left
Not
the
me.
area.
I'm not sleeping.
Did you not follow us back to watch this?
He did, but as you guys were distracted watching, he just kind of went away.
I'm not going to sleep yet.
Even though you just got done saying you were very tired.
Yeah, but I just realized because I'm
That
the
woke him
world's
up.
greatest detective with
Okay.
my hat here, that it obviously says so. I'm gonna go to the tavern.
Which
Try.
one? The Iron Mug or Elf Song Tavern?
The Iron Mug.
Okay.
Or the
And
tumble,
Going
or the
And
tumble
we're
down
gonna
tavern.
try and figure out some clues.
Okay.
Wait,
I'm gonna bring my axe.
Is it Friday? Is it a brawl day?
That's at
Well,
Because
Elf
we're
Song.
6 days
That's
later.
At Elf
That's
Song.
at 6. Okay.
And he's not going there.
Gotta roll a
Okay,
d10 to figure out.
How does he know? He hasn't been there, has he?
He hasn't.
Didn't you just
He's
show
never
up?
been in this town at all.
That's
I
actually-
said
There's-
the
there's
tavern
absolutely
as
no
in it would
way.
be the first one I would find.
That'd be
Wait,
Elf
are you
Song.
underage?
So then, all right, that's fine. So you're
I don't know.
you're
that.
actually going out. You're just looking for a tavern.
I just want to get information. I'm the
Okay,
world's greatest
you're
detective.
looking for a tavern.
Rika won't let him go
Yeah,
alone.
There's no way that
Sentry's
Taz is
gonna.
gonna let
Sentry will
him.
follow him.
I'm gonna roll for the 3 taverns
So
that
who's going with him?
you're all
I'll go with
familiar
him
with.
because I
All
won't
four
let
of you,
him.
it seems like.
Yeah, he's my best friend.
I
If,
wouldn't let
if
him
Sentry
go.
and Paz are going, Rika
No,
will-
I'm not going. I'm not letting him out of the house.
Because the best
Oh,
idea
really?
is that I go with him.
I'm definitely
You
not.
have such a good track record of
I was gonna
investigation.
say.
I'm gonna turn,
That's
I'm
such
gonna
a good
turn to him
track
and
record.
say,
I'm gonna go, but keep a distance. I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah, I'm
he's
going-
not going outside the house.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna say, get some rest. We'll go together, and the clues will be there when we get up. You need rest. It's been a long, possible 2 months that we've been gone.
Everyone knows. that
Take a
all
cat
the
nap,
nice
okay?
things happen at night.
The freaks come out at night.
Exactly. You get the best information.
It's
that
not
way.
night yet. We're gonna take
Sure,
a nap.
it's 1 p.m.
Oh, it's
Take
1
a
p.m.
nap.
right now. I thought we got back like
1
later.
p.m.
Oh, I'll take a nap. That's
Okay.
a good idea. And then let's go at nighttime.
Okay.
And with that, Paz goes into the room requirements and takes a cat nap.
Okay. So you go to take a cat nap, not in your bedroom, but in the room of requirement.
I want to be near the room requirements at all time.
Rika?
Rika now notices that Darian's gone.
Okay.
And so he'll kind of go to the front door and just look around to see if he sees him anywhere, like what direction he's going.
Perception. And are you still dressed as yourself?
He never actually undressed as Sentry.
It's your mini sentry.
So you still look like Sentry.
He still looks like Sentry.
Mini Sentry. Okay.
16,
thing
unless
that's not
my pass is
noticeable.
higher than
Right.
18.
Now you're actually-
The weirdest thing he
Weird
could be.
metal man will get no
Pass is
glasses.
18.
Oh, we can stand outside the house like we're
Statues. That'd be fun.
You
think-
could earn money
think
as
you
like a little.
capture
Performer.
Yeah.
a glimpse of a metal man turning a corner.
Is he within 60 feet?
I'm going to say no. He's in eye shot.
30 feet.
He's
Not-
in eye shot,
yeah.
but he's not within, like,
He's not within 30 feet.
yeah. And you see him just turn a corner
Out of sight.
out of sight now.
Alright, let him go.
Okay. What are you doing, darling?
So everybody just goes away and does their own thing now.
Sleeping at the house. You're at the house.
Yeah, that was me talking to.
Is
Rika.
IL going to sleep as
He
well?
said he is.
And Sentry,
okay.
what are
Alright.
you?
Well, I'm still in the house now. Do we know who
Okay, so
Xanthos
then
is? Me
nobody
and
else does.
IO
No.
and Amir. Nope. Just curious.
It's in
on
a
that.
secret room up top.
Yeah,
there,
I mean,
yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah, I'm just curious.
Well, it's open. I mean, it is in a secret room, but the secret room is open.
Sentry's gonna wander the house.
Okay. That's probably
Nice.
a good idea.
I'm doing that with you because I didn't never been in here before.
Now, do I technically need to sleep?
No, you're.
You do need to take a long rest.
Well,
but-
take a long
but you're
rest,
not
But you don't
sleeping.
actually sleep.
I don't actually sleep. Okay.
So does he have like Tesla charging stations?
Basically.
Build up throughout the city.
Yeah, I tap right in.
Just plug in.
Somebody-
Into the grid.
Into the grid. Somebody hooked me up with all his buttons.
Did your self-driving autopilot
Yeah.
malfunctions and you walk in the wall?
So you two guys peruse the house, and you see Paz move a ficus and then walk into a wall, and he disappears through. And you assume that when he said, "I'm going to go take a cat nap in the room of requirement," that's the room of requirement. Kind of like the room you were in at Stumpy's.
The one that we now know probably has a back door.
Unintended consequence of how we had to start this. Did not think that through.
I created a plot line.
Now it's lore and it's a plot line. So here we are.
It makes sense.
It does now. Now it makes the Iron Throne a lot more devious.
Yeah.
Which I was not thinking, but we can go with that. So here we are. It works. You guys assume that that's the room of requirement. You walk through all the normal findings of a house: dining room, kitchen, living room, a study. You walk upstairs, a bunch of bedrooms, and then you find the special bedroom with an obelisk in a dais, turned clockwise, with a door open, with stairs going up to an attic. Do you guys go up?
I'm going up there.
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
up.
You
I'm
both-
also, just FYI, when I'm walking through the house, knowing that it's on top of like an entrance or a crypt to Haven, there seems to be all this interconnected. The house seems to be old. I'm looking at the woodwork, seeing if there are runes carved into anything, looking for just any sort of glyphs, that kind of thing.
That's a good idea. I didn't think of that. All right, give me investigation.
Okay, I'm gonna use an advantage.
Do you have it open?
26.
I can't. I don't see it.
Okay, you definitely
Oh.
see things. Now I have to invent those things.
Fun having a wizard in the party.
Okay. Well,
I
you
can
kn-
say they're weird and I can just write them down and study
you
them
know the
overnight.
history that this is like one of the oldest houses in the city.
Mhm.
The craftsmanship is impeccable for it to still be standing at this, and you see some crown molding and chair railing that
You don't really see anywhere else, like it was handcrafted. Once we get to the upstairs where the rooms are, you notice these weird notchings next to every room. And the notches are these little, they're all different slightly. Like they almost denote someone's room in particular. And when you get to the room with the secret room in it, to the attic, that notching you've seen before. You've seen it in a book. And the shape of it, you know, represents Baldura himself. So this room, you gather, if this was the Baldura's house, this was probably Baldura's room. And it's interesting that this is the one with the secret room to the attic as well. We'll go with that.
Okay. You're not walking with us, are you?
I'm not. I'm just.
You
kind
were
of-
outside. You were like out front, still in your front yard, in the picket fence, kind of like looking, and you see the little metal man turn a corner. So you're still outside, out
Yep.
front.
I make my way back in the house and just do my own security,
Okay.
like
Your
loop.
sit rep,
Yeah, I do a sit rep.
level green.
Yes.
It's another D&D game we're in.
DEFCON 1, 5 purple. Purple.
So you do that. Nothing looks. I mean, you can roll if you want to, but unless you like crit fail.
I go, good luck, Rico!
23.
Yeah, nothing looks out of place. You check Elijah's room and you see it's nice and tidy, though he didn't make his bed. And the closet now has a little bit of clothing in it, like he's started to move in a little bit. He considers this a safe house.
From the second floor, I would be trying to look for sight lines of other buildings that might have a view from up high towards us.
Okay.
To see if there's any spots that people could like be looking at us from, not from the dock, because we're real close to the dock.
Correct.
So, hey, are there could someone be in a bird's nest and viewing us, or are there other buildings around that could have a sight line to the house?
So on the second floor, in the hallway that has all of the bedrooms in it, at the end of that hallway there is a window. And when you look out, there's a one-story rancher next to you, so you can look down over that. But the house next to that one is also two-story with a window in the same spot. It's almost parallel, so you can look across. But
So-
the curtains on that are drawn.
So before Ricka would go to sleep, he would not go too far away, but he would, just like in the immediate, like maybe block or so, he'd do a bit of a prayer walk.
Okay.
Seeking to open himself up to,
See if you catch anything,
yeah,
negative or positive.
yeah, and in
energies.
particular that might be seeking to kind of translocate or center, on our house that is making it like somehow anything close to us, but in particular,
Okay.
if it seems to be focusing on
Okay, give me a religion check.
religion.
Is that what? Do you think
That's-
that would make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
It's intelligence too.
it is. I'm gonna guidance myself.
I always forget that it's not wisdom.
You know, it's real,
That's
kind of
so weird.
strange. Yeah. It should. It feel like-
15.
So you walk around and you don't necessarily. Now it's been a little while since you've done a prayer walk. So for the first half of it, you're kind of trying to find your rhythm again with it. On the second half, you get there, and you feel susceptible to the energies around you, both positive and negative. And when you get to that house that you know had a draped window kind of parallel to yours, your neighbor 2 doors down, you don't feel any. You feel some negative energy, but it doesn't feel like I'm trying to kill you negative energy. And you see 2 kids playing in the backyard. and you get the feeling that it's just a normal family, albeit maybe there's someone there that's unhappy.
Human kids?
Yep.
Rika will...
Opportunity attack. No.
Looks like there's 2 sisters in the back playing.
Rika knows to be very careful with children.
Okay.
Especially what he's aware of has happened with some other clergy that he's been close to.
Yep.
And so Rika will just take note of it, notice the happiness of the children, and just insight the kids to the extent that he might be able to, like, is there any fear in them towards their house? Like, are they just like trying to escape, and are they just carefree, careless
Give me
in the backyard playing?
Insight, please.
That's better. 23.
They look pretty carefree. They're kicking a ball back and forth, and the older sister's having a blast. The younger sister's playing goalie, and she's getting scored on left and right. And when you felt negative energy, it's almost focused on the younger sister, who's just pissed at her older sister for continuing to score. And in fact, now you kind of see Mom through the back window. You imagine maybe she's at the kitchen sink or something, washing dishes and just looking at her kids in the backyard. Mom looks content.
Rika wants to make sure he's unseen.
Okay.
He'll wait for the older sister
Good approach, kid.
to like kick a rocket shot.
She Cristiano Ronaldo's it.
Yep, at
Yep.
the younger sister.
Yep.
And right as it looks like it's going to get past the younger sister, Rika's going to thaumaturgy and just explode the ball. Like, not blow it up, but like make it look that like the younger sister hits it and just like knocks it out of the yard.
Okay. That definitely happens. And like the younger sister dove right, this ball's going left, and somehow it does not meet its mark, and there's almost a loud boom, and this ball explodes up over the house and lands in the bay.
Dude, you just made Scott Sterling.
And
And the
now,
fish came up
and now,
The catfish.
and now
with an
the
axe in
anger
its mouth.
reverses. The younger sister's like, I stopped you! First time today! And the older sister's like, that's stupid, that's impossible, how did you do that? This is dumb, you lost the ball. And now they're both angry because they realize they lost the ball. 2 negative energies, but none of it feels
You work here is done.
like shadow demons are lurking. It just feels like classic sibling rivalry.
Rika
Only the clerics did.
Rika will go and retrieve the ball
Okay.
and knock on the door of the house.
And you hear some steps, some heavy steps
How would
come.
you know it's their house that the ball belongs?
Because he was
Too late,
watching.
we're already here. And you see the door open, and there's the father
You
with
gotta
some
pay
reading
attention to the
glasses
guy's
on. He goes, hello, can I help you?
Yeah, sir, I'm a friendly neighbor. Yeah, I
Okay.
had your children playing in the back and watched a ball fly out, and I just wanted to bring it back for you.
Okay, thank you.
If you ever need anything, we're at 123 Dock Street, and happy to help.
Oh, the ghost house.
Not anymore, we cast them out.
You know the ghost puncher? The puncher of ghosts?
She's my friend. Yeah, we train together.
Okay.
So Luna guide you, and may the light light your steps in the darkness.
You as well. Thank you. And he closes the door. He takes the wet soccer ball inside. And 10 seconds later, you hear the back door open. And he goes, children, seems you misplaced this. And he rolls it to them. And now what was angry negative energy is happy energy. And the game begins again.
The younger sister gets dunked on immediately.
That's right.
And then the negative energy
And,
returns.
and before you get back home, one of them's angry again.
All right, very good.
Okay. So you guys are trolling the house, and you find. This feels like a little dramatic.
Does
You
he find
a
the room of
pantry.
requirement?
Oh, snacks.
I'm all,
But are they
I'm all
expired?
pumped, but we didn't find anything. The music is.
Does he find the room
You've
of
been
requirement?
fighting
It was an epic kickball contest.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So
I'm just
you-
swinging,
You guys
moshing.
sock 'em boppers.
Yeah.
It's a pillow fight with fists. You guys get to the top and you see the floating candle and you see what looks to be some weird ritual, and you see this really old looking mirror with awesome, beautiful wood carving around the outside holding the mirror up, but you don't see anyone in it.
Is this where I saw Zenthos in my vision?
It is.
Uh-huh.
It is. So you know you're looking at the right mirror,
Mhm.
but you don't see Zenthos on the other side of it. It's just a mirror right now.
What happens if I just knock on the frame?
You want to touch it?
Not the mirror part.
You want to touch the frame?
Do
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. The minute you
Because
touch...
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I
No,
would just know that he's
I
in the
agree,
mirror.
but the minute you touch the frame, you notice that there were 3 lights above it. One of them was already red. A little bit of the glass breaks,
Oh!
and the second red light lights up.
Darling,
There's
what did you do?
Sentry, you did that.
I did
You did that. I grab my plumber by the shoulder and say, "No one will believe you."
It's Sivanek and Dove all over again.
Yeah, you guys can't go anywhere.
Oh, wait,
better
I
off in
wish
the
I
bar.
could retcon that. I wish I could retcon that mincemeat flew into it. Darn, I didn't think about that.
It still would have went. So now, if you screw up one more time, that mirror is broken and out of use forever.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Why'd you touch the
Get
mirror?
that clarified. I wanted to see what kind of magical mirror, you know.
And
It's-
it could
Exploring
mean
it.
that Zenthos is stuck forever.
Should I touch it?
Oh no, he'll never come back on Thursday nights.
And it could mean you never get to the end plot line.
Darling just goes boom. Just punches the mirror.
I'm the leader now.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, I am the
I've
captain
nine
now.
fingers all this time.
So it is.
Marishka emerges.
I like unzipper.
Yeah.
Darian,
Yes.
you are dressed as a metal man. You're walking down the streets. You're pretty sure no one's following you at this point. And
At some point, he would change his form,
what are you looking
I
for?
don't remember.
like
Or
a
looking
handsome
like.
elf.
You're looking the same handsome elf you usually go as.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're looking like the regal, blonde hair, tan elf who's got that regal purple sash with the green undercoat, with the haughty British accent.
Wait, does he still look Fey-touched though in these illusions?
Ooh, good question.
No, he doesn't have to.
Handsome Squidward's gone.
Handsome Squidward is gone. And which bar are you making your way to?
At 1 o'clock, I don't know if he would be making his way to a bar. He might just be making his way to a market or walking along and looking.
So you do know that the main market on the dockside is up and running at this point in time. It's closer to Johann's house. So do you make your way there?
Mhm.
You make your way there. Give me a perception check.
11.
11. You see someone that catches your eye.
I walk over to them.
And you see a nice young lady selling walnuts.
Okay.
Some shelled, some unshelled. She looks at you. Would you like me to crack your nuts?
Well, if that isn't a come on, I don't know what is. He says, and he gives her a gold for some walnuts.
Gold for a.
And she gives you 2
pack.
bagfuls.
2 bagfuls, okay.
Would you like them cracked or uncracked?
he takes one and just bites it.
Unshelled it is.
Somewhere past his tooth breaks.
That's why it's only a cat nap. He's
Wakes
got,
up out of a dead sleep.
his molar is cracked.
Again? Damn, I wasn't even chewing anything. Despicable.
Oh boy. And
And he puts them in his backpack.
Yep.
Or no, he puts them in
satchel.
Yeah. And he says, "Well, now that you've made yourself some gold, would you care to take a walk with me?"
Roll persuasion.
You got it, buddy. Get your lady.
It's a good thing I have some pluses. That would be an 9.
Well, if she wants to crack it.
I still have another 3 hours to go.
He drops another gold in your hand.
Dang, you freaking.
Well, I guess I've made my quota. She turns the open sign to closed. She starts packing up her stuff. And then she kind of gives you her arm and she goes, "Where are you taking me?"
Well, do you like flowers?
I love flowers. Daffodils are my favorite.
He takes her to a florist.
Okay.
Gee, I wonder how people in the city keep getting abducted.
They're so gullible.
She's like, oh, people are going missing.
You know, I mean,
2 gold coins is worth it.
So you go to a florist, you pick up some flowers, and we're going to give an overall roll. What do you
Dice
roll?
giveaway?
Oh, we want to do a dice giveaway. Yes! Okay.
While Darian is
Good call.
swindling this young maiden.
We are going
Seducing
to,
is
if
the
you want to
word.
win the dice,
Abduction.
we are going to do exclamation point seduce.
Oh,
SEDUC.
whoa! I almost broke my back.
You take her to, you get her the
That's what she
flowers.
says,
She says, "What's next?" Because she has a nice little bouquet. What's next?
He would offer her a meal.
She likes meals. Roll. Now what I'm going to have you do is roll persuasion 2 more times. We're gonna
Do it.
we're not gonna role play through
Your date.
the back half of this. So what was your first roll?
16.
That works.
Crit fail.
Yes!
She's not into men.
Well, that's pretty bad.
Okay.
he snaps his finger.
Yeah.
His hair grows out.
He could address that.
I can fix that.
Sue, the date doesn't go as planned for you.
Mhm.
It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon
Okay.
now.
Does he?
Jesus, close enough. Close enough.
Stay on. Your day was so bad. It turned
I
into
called
a
forth the
seance.
spirits of the dead.
She's like sobbing about her dead grandmother.
Yeah, you said something. You struck a chord. She's sad. It's just not going anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Actually, we'll Barney Stinson this. She's sad. She's on tilt. This will give you one chance to be the comforter.
Uh-huh.
You're
So, can you give me more specifics so I can roleplay it a little bit, or?
Yeah, we're gonna go with
Is
that.
this the
She's
how
thinking-
I Met
so
Your
she's
Mother
thinking about her
reference?
dead
This is a How I
grandmother.
Met Your Mother
Yeah.
reference, a Barney Stinson reference. She's you got to talking. You started bringing up family. You're trying to get to know her. You talk about your family. She brings up her family. You notice she's only talking about one of her family members. You ask about the other. She starts to cry because that one's passed away somewhat recently, like a couple months ago, and she's having a hard time.
selling her nuts.
And you can either play it one of 2 ways, like, "Oops, sorry, it sucks for you," or like, "No, come here."
So Darian would
My
say,
arms.
you know, I recently found out that the Raven Queen watches over those who've passed, and I'm sure your grandmother is looking down on you and smiling.
All right, persuasion with advantage.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So that would be 22.
Your date goes as planned.
I don't trust anybody who rolls directly on the table.
Why?
I don't know. It just wigs me out now.
Yeah.
I trust no one.
We all just so we just started.
Your date goes as planned. You have a wonderful afternoon into the evening. Good for you.
Woohoo!
Your stamina's high.
What feat are you working on?
Constitution.
He's gonna see how many venereal diseases he can get and live.
That would be Constitution.
Constitutional
I
fortitude.
feel like you're almost working on the lucky feat.
He actually stays off his
The
feet.
lucky feet.
That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
We are doing that. You can add 3 to your lucky feat.
Okay.
What am I gonna
You just created this for me.
This is the 3rd time
I
we
exist.
successfully
I
Right.
guide people to a
How
treasure.
many
I
does he
can't
need?
help possess. I can't get my research notes. I didn't get the spell.
We're gonna say he's gonna
When
need
69.
you're getting your alert. He's getting lucky. Whatever.
How many bodies does this man need to get the lucky feet?
I don't know yet, but we'll figure that out.
Bodies.
I can't wait for you to get
Bodies,
bountiful lucky.
okay.
Yeah, that's what the kids
Lays.
call having sex with people.
Yeah, it's how many
have you
bodies? What's your
stacked?
body count?
Oh, so it doesn't mean it's not people anymore.
No.
It's just like
Well,
No,
yeah.
no, it's people.
It's no.
They don't look at
really,
people
it's
as
not.
human.
Yeah, they're just a body.
Yeah.
To be slept with.
jeez.
So you got 3 bodies.
We're all doomed.
Don't worry. My son doesn't think about women that
Yeah,
way.
we don't do
and the
that.
goblins only last 9 days.
As not people.
So you got 3. 3
Sweet.
towards that. We'll figure out what number we're working towards for the lucky feet.
So lucky from who's the band? Up all night to get lucky. Yeah, that one. That's
Yep,
your theme
Daft
song?
Punk.
That's
Yeah.
Daft Punk, yeah.
Ricka will eventually go and
Take a nap.
he'll take a long
Long
sleep.
rest. So that's
Yep.
8 hours.
Yep.
So
He's not taking a nap.
is
He's-
everyone getting up at like 9 p.m. then?
Ricka's okay with that.
I'm
He's
getting
a
up at like
man of the
6
night.
o'clock
That's not a long rest.
that day.
It's not a long
Yeah.
rest.
I'm
You
not
need 8
Nick.
hours.
So it's a
Can
short,
I sleep
short
for
rest.
like 20 hours then?
Wait.
Till like the next night?
We're all gonna be very concerned for your health.
Dude, he's Skyrim resting right
Yeah, he's Skyrim resting.
now. You're standing on
Role
the
play be
versus-
damned.
You
I'm
wake
just gonna
up
sleep
and
for
like,
20
is your
hours.
inventory different? No, damn it!
Let me get this straight. You
So
want to go out at
true.
nighttime, right?
Yeah.
You want to go out at nighttime, and a long rest is 8 hours, correct?
The banish enchantment. No.
8 hours is a long rest.
Yes.
Am I
Yeah.
correct? And you went to bed at 1.
Just want some dwarven.
And you
Yeah.
want to
And
Maybe
wanna
you
sleep
could-
till the next night to go out,
You could sleep 8 hours and it'd be the night.
or you could take a long rest and go out tonight.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do that.
That
No.
makes a little more sense.
The fates have spoken. The
20
gods
hours
will
to
only
sleep a day
reveal
away.
for
You wanted
night.
20 hours. Isn't that not even night?
No,
Isn't
I
the
think-
math right
I-
there.
It's back.
Wouldn't that
It's
be?
even sooner.
Yeah, it'd be sooner.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm going out to get
20 hours.
It's now 11 o'clock in the morning.
Everything's clean.
God, I didn't plan that right. I'm gonna sleep for another 19 hours.
Time to get some breakfast.
IL is officially out of the story.
I'm going.
All right, so he's taking a long rest, and we're going out tonight. We'll wake him up at 9 o'clock. It's time to go now.
No, another 6 hours, please.
I like to think in your dream you're finding the clues. Piecing this all together.
He dreams of red yarn.
Yep.
Does he kick in his dreams?
Like a dog.
Yeah.
That's
So you actually do have some dreams, though.
Ooh, I have some
Oh, boy.
dreams.
Yeah.
I should stop giving us
Yeah.
signs.
So as you roll over while you're sleeping, and it's like 7 p.m. So you're like 2 hours away from a long rest. You're deep into your sleep. You roll over and you swear you see someone standing in your room.
Like, I'm still sleeping now?
Maybe.
Or am I like, I don't know.
Yeah. It could be a dream. This could be reality.
I turn over to the other side.
Look.
Okay. No.
Cat claw over his eye.
You were on your right shoulder facing the wall.
I open, I'm like,
You turn over to your left shoulder. You kind of open your eyes. You see someone. You turn back. To your right. You face the wall, and just as you start to drift again, you hear, And you sleep till 9.
And you miss character development.
So, you guys get up at 9. It's dark.
Did Sentry see anything?
Well, no, you were wandering the house.
I was wandering the house still.
Yep.
Yep.
I love you. You are hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Rick, the first thing Rick will do when he wakes up is look to see if Darian is back.
Darian is back. Darian is in a familiar half state, half elf, half himself, and his left foot looks like Sentry's.
No chocolate head.
No chocolate head.
And is he going to sleep?
He's just giddily, drunkily sitting in a chair, kind of babbling and giggling to himself.
That's creepy.
Ricka will go over to him.
Is he alone?
Ricka wants to be alone with him.
He's alone. You see a tipped over red wine bottle at his feet.
You're a mess.
And his flies down.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, Ricka. How you doing?
Yeah, have a good time, yeah?
I did. I needed that. I needed to get myself right.
Yeah, Ricka looks at him. He smiles, but his eyes are really serious.
Back to serious Ricka.
Yeah. And
Yeah. Can I ask you a personal question? Yeah.
Your eyes are really intense.
I know.
That's scary.
Can I ask you a personal question?
How personal.
Very.
All right. You're my friend.
Yeah, I am your friend, and I care about you. Yeah. So I want to ask this from my heart. From my heart. And I want to hear an answer from you, from your heart.
And as he says that, he casts Zone of Truth on him.
Woo! Okay.
Dude, you're too drunk to even get out of it, too.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't. Oh, actually, I do have. Do I roll a disadvantage because I'm drunk?
Drunk people can't lie for crap!
Yeah.
I was just saying.
You're in a zone of truth and you're drunk!
You don't even know what feat you
there's a
have.
save. There's a save with the spell.
There is a save. He could pass the save.
There is a save. All right, how do I want to rule this?
But
here?
if somebody's got their zipper down, they're
And they're
clearly,
drunk,
they're
and they're holding a
clearly-
wine bottle.
Well, hold on,
wine
because there's
bottle's
more.
empty at his feet. There's other extenuating circumstances that I'm factoring in here. Give me a second.
You're in a good mood. You don't feel like lying.
Well, that's a factor too. Absolutely. But I wouldn't be forced to tell the truth if I saved.
Wouldn't that be funny if you just told the truth anyway, straight up, even if you passed the save?
Straight roll.
What is it actually? I don't even know.
It is you should be good at this. It's a charisma saving throw.
Oh goodness gracious! So that'd be 18.
You pass.
Okay, I pass. Does he know that I passed?
I do know you passed.
Okay.
What if you take them out and then dump
When
them
you
back in?
when you cast it, does like anything happen? Like,
So
yeah,
when,
actually, I
when Ricka says, "I want you to answer from your heart," Ricka smiles, and there's just kind of this glow of light that surrounds the both of you as you both
like you're under a spotlight.
like he's in the Ricka is in
you
the zone
have
of
to
truth.
roll too.
I can allow it to affect myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm allowing it to affect myself. Which is why Ricka said he'll answer from his heart as well.
Okay.
But then Ricka sees that you've resisted and she said,
So you don't want to answer from your heart.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I just naturally protected myself from a spell. Wouldn't you do the same?
Not with a friend.
Would a friend cast a truth spell on another friend?
How about
He would.
truth or-
He'll say that. Sure.
Truth or dare? I dare you to tell me the truth.
Well, I know you've been lying to me.
Oh, I haven't been telling you the whole truth.
So I want to give you the opportunity to do that. The whole truth.
You can trust me.
I don't doubt that, but I want to know. How did you really know that that's what you got off?
Well, I had this feeling, and it's as if a wisdom spoke into my brain, and I understood that was a being not to be trusted, and that that word, Yugoloth, popped into my head. You're right, though. It wasn't from a book. I didn't know that previously.
This is some lovely music.
And in the background, you see Zip and Zed, like, working on. We also built classical instruments.
And Darian edges closer
There's
to
a
Rick
little
on the
piano.
bench.
This is the natural music that plays when Zone of Truth is cast.
So, okay, that seems reasonable. There's some magical voice in your head. I have those. The deity, Selune. Do you
Oh,
know what voice that is speaking to you?
Darian is going to take a moment and think. And he's going to come to the conclusion that it's obvious that he's a warlock. And he's going to say, well, my patron, I don't really know who my patron is, but it was my patron. I usually just call him my shadow.
Right, that's also reasonable, yeah. And I think I believe you that you don't know who that is.
Ricka has not dropped the spell. He's kept it on with him inside of it to show Darian that he is going to tell the truth no matter what.
Darian is
Power
actually...
play.
Darian is going to use that, actually, and he's going to say, back at Stumpy's, you seemed almost desperate to find Cacophony. What were you feeling in that moment?
Terror. Fear that I lost another, like Sydney, in my arms. I've been tasked with protecting you. I don't want to lose any more. Like Paz, I feel responsible. I know that there's purpose that we have. Even the nitwits.
The noisy nitwits?
And you can see Ricka kind of is fighting back a little bit of emotion, but he gives you that answer.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope we find her.
Well, if you'd like, as soon as we are done, I'm gonna send her a message.
I'd love to join you.
That's good. Why do you pretend to be junk?
Well, I find that people are more ready to trust me if they don't think too highly of me. Or too seriously of me.
I'm not going to ask where you go or what you do. But I want you to know that I want to help you however I can.
Well, I appreciate that. There are things that I'm asked to do, and I don't really like them too much, but I'm not truly hurting anyone. So I do them. But if it comes to it, I know who I can trust, and I'll come to you.
Are you asked by the voice, your patron? Is that who asks you to do those things?
Roll perception.
That's only 9, I think. Yeah, 9.
You see over Ricka's shoulder a figure with its arms crossed on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear no in your head.
Darian would say, no, it's not my patron, it's more my appetites.
Dunk him back in the zone of truth.
I didn't fall for Zone of Truth.
I mean, Ricka would certainly be inciting to. So if you're actively trying to deceive,
That's absolutely a lie.
yeah. So I'll roll without guidance because I have Zone of Truth up,
Mhm.
which is a actually not concentration apparently. Not concentration, but even so I'm not gonna guidance myself.
Ooh.
That's a 27.
Do I contest?
Yeah.
You'd have to beat that with your deception roll.
Deception roll.
Yeah.
You have an advantage
Oh.
on your deception.
Because of his deity.
Crit success.
Oh.
And that would be
No.
that with deception added. That would be 27.
But
With
we
me.
didn't know it was a
But
crit.
he crit. You rolled a 20.
You have now entered a clash.
Yeah. Wait, it's a three-way clash.
It's a three-way
It's Rika, my patron, and me.
It's just who can all tell the stupidest lie and win.
Patron,
What'd the
Going
patron
around.
roll?
What's that?
the patron blesses you when you roll.
Yeah, right. This is fun.
Okay.
I like these
You
kinds of
don't
clashes.
quite know. You think he's lying to you, but you also think you see his zippers down.
There's might be some truth to his I would be more convinced by the appetites than by the no. Like it's not your patron.
And I think we can read into it that way.
Yeah, just like your
Part
your,
you
your
don't believe
fleshly
is-
passion
yeah.
is
You don't believe the no part.
Yeah.
But you okay, well, all right. Maybe he's love drunk.
right. So I don't
A dance off.
Rika just tears his underwear right off. No.
From
Tear
under
away
the pants?
No, it's canon.
The zone-
Rika wears his underwear over his pants.
Like Whale Man.
Superman.
Wait, the zone of truth is a disco ball?
Euro pops out of nowhere.
That's right. Yeah, I'm only asking because I care. But we don't need to go farther than this. Do you have anything else you want to ask me? And he just gestures towards the light around him, as if inviting any questions.
Does Salune ever ask you to do something you don't really understand or agree with?
There are plenty of things that I don't understand. The outcome or the purpose behind. But I am not asked to do things I don't agree with from a morality standpoint.
All right.
Just a purpose. Why this? Okay, I'll do it. But it's not morally bad or dark or evil. Does
I
it make
understand.
sense?
I think so.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Alright.
It's really too bad. I was looking forward to talking to Cacophony about patrons, but we never ever had that conversation. And I wonder if her experience, because she didn't know, how she became a warlock. I wanted to understand more about her experience as a warlock.
I talked with her a little bit about the Raven Queen,
Mm-hmm.
who called to her, who found her when Cacophony was looking.
Mm-hmm.
So it was seems mutual. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
One was seeking, and then one allowed themselves to be found. Yeah, you know what I mean? But if you'd like, you can give a call to Cacophony with me.
All right.
I'd very much like to see if she's okay.
Should we actually call her?
I think
She's like dodging a Jabberwock right now.
people are starting to get up. It's 9:15, 9:30 now. IL is up.
He put his
You're gonna hear Sentry from the kitchen.
He put his hat on and he goes, It's time.
Okay, so you're
Waited long
He
enough.
moves the figure in front of him out of the way so he can walk to
I love it.
Catford.
You wear the Sherlock Holmes hat now. That's what you do. What is Sentry doing?
You're gonna hear him from the kitchen. Where the hell did all these nuts come from? Just kind of.
And where we'll end tonight is your message to Cacophony.
Okay.
Yeah. Who is, you have no idea where.
Rika will ask Darian to kneel down next to him. And Rick will,
Yeah, may I take your hand?
May the power of Christ compel you.
He gives it to him.
Rika will very intentionally put his hand directly over his ring.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
before he casts the spell, he wants to...
Identify.
No, I don't have that spell, but he
Zip 'em
wants
up.
to see if he can sense any darkness in it.
Is that a spell? Sense darkness?
It's kind of Rika's,
Religious.
Thematic.
Rika's thing.
Religion check.
And he would be doing this kind of nonchalantly, like...
Mhm.
It's cocked. $18.
Okay. So I rolled as well. And when you go to reach and put your hand over the ring, you feel a hand on your shoulder. And you feel the need to move your hand up towards his wrist.
I do so.
And
And Darius
Then-
starts giggling uncontrollably. That's his tickle spot.
then you feel a hand on your other shoulder. It was on your right shoulder. Now it feels like a hand's on your left shoulder.
Okay.
And you feel, it feels like a hand, 2 fingers walk up your neck. flick
Now
your
you
ear,
start giggling.
and then you feel nothing.
Rick is confused.
And the ring, now in your sight, seems to gleam. Like it catches some light that isn't there.
Okay. Would Rika affiliate the light with Salune in any way?
I am purposely being
Big.
vague
Okay.
for you to make your own assumption.
Okay, very good. Having experienced that, Rika will cast the sending spell. And he'll do so holding Darian's wrist now. And just say,
Yes, let's listen together. That's what he has to say.
and from a thematic standpoint,
We're getting married.
Do you? Marriage.
Marriage.
Rika would do the sending spell, but do it like telepathically.
Okay.
In a way that he would then try to telepathically share the response with Darian as he receives it back from Cacophony.
Okay.
Mechanically, that's not how. But
Yeah.
It's like a combination
Listen,
sending
hey,
a
it's
message.
It's your world. If you want it to work that way, here we are.
yeah. So he'd say,
Cacophony, are you safe? Do you know where you are? Can you return to us? Or can we get to you? We are all ready.
I think that was.
We are
already.
already.
It was 24 words.
Okay.
I will pose that question to Cacophony on Tuesday.
Okay.
The response is, ah! Jabberwock!
Okay. Yeah.
Isaac Jabberwock, come help!
I'm not safe! And then you're like, I feel peace.
But where's my stuff?
Yeah.
Is my
The
stuff
response
safe?
just where's my stuff? Don't touch
And
it.
okay. And that's where we're gonna end tonight. So it was a role play heavy session to get us back into town to start us on the first leg of
the main story, which is going after that brownstone and going to kick some Zent butt and figuring out what the heck's going on with this gypsy king, queen, individual, group of people, person, thing, guy. Person. Maybe. So, thank you for joining us tonight. Yous be trolling. I'm pretty sure you won something on Tuesday as well. Congratulations on the dice. Sorry that your kid woke up and you had to go put him back down. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back in 2 weeks, the 3rd Thursday, where we will continue the Candlekeep Accords and see, well, what this group's going to do at night when they go bar hopping and what information they're looking for with, with Detective
you
IL.
and I are going to do great things with my port.
This is awesome. And Detective IL is on the case, and I'm excited to see where that goes. And I hope you join us on Tuesday, this Tuesday, and every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we loot, die, and repeat, and we fight a Jabberwock on top of a tower. That's going to be fun. Again, thank you for joining us. Have a great night.
Bye, everyone.